All right. Welcome, everyone. Welcome back once again to another glorious Saturday night here on the Exploding
Sunday
Dice.
night.
Oh, I'm drunk already. I was
He
just gonna
hasn't even
say,
started.
Jarval was saying, "Can we get the DM drunk again?" And I'm clearly already there. So, yes, we can accomplish that. Welcome to another glorious Sunday night here on the Exploding Dice channel as we get back to our Jade Regent campaign with these fine folks. And we're going to dive right in because we've been hanging out and pre-gaming. We're gonna dive right into the game. But before it, why don't we just say hello to everyone who's hanging out with us? Starting from my right with Mr. Trendane. Just tell us who you are and who you're playing today, and then we'll dive right into recap.
Well, this kind of is a recap, sort of. But I am Trent Sparks, professional voice actor person thing, and I am playing Balin Koth, a fighter person who's about to turn a goblin's brains inside out.
All right.
My name is Adam, project manager, gamer, extraordinaire. I am playing Xantor, the wily and adventurous and highly courageous druid.
Mm-hmm.
Those are yes. We'll pretend those are all adequate adjectives.
Those are
Adequate adjectives.
They are, yeah. What are you trying to say? All right, take it away, Ash.
Lee.
Hi, I'm Ashley. I don't do shit. And I forget my character's name. Kismet. She was drunk last week, so I don't remember what happened.
Fair enough. Well, it's all right because we were all drunk last week, or I was very drunk. I don't know about you.
You're
guys.
drunk enough for everybody.
So for those of you who may not remember, we didn't actually play last week because I am an idiot and I accidentally scheduled another event on Sunday. I didn't realize it was Sunday, so we didn't play last week, but we did play the week before that, and we ended up in a little bit of a precarious situation. So let's start the recap from the beginning. So last time on the Jade Regent campaign. So if you guys recall, the players had just finished saving Sandpoint from the goblin attack that had torn through the Swallowtail Festival. The goblins had come in, rampaged through, they had damaged buildings, they had injured people, and among the small number of militia that stood up and fought them, the party had kind of come together, all complete strangers, but they had all risen up to help defend the town, and with their help, the goblins were driven off, and the festival was saved. Well, the festival was still ended, but...
I was going to say it was still over.
It was still over, but the town was saved. And so we, after the party had just kind of finished fighting, they went around town. They were kind of looking for what their next move was, because specifically they had been told that Sheriff Hemlock wanted to speak with them because they had kind of become something of a local celebrity because of what they did during the festival. So the party, they got their rooms at the Rusty Dragon, they awoke, they spoke to Sheriff Hemlock, and he instructed them that he said, I want to know what you are doing in this town. I want to know what your plans are. I want to know, kind of why you're here and what your intentions are. And he also requested that this new group of people that came together assist him in investigating how and why the goblins came to attack. And being that the party didn't really have much alternative, most of them kind of didn't really have any destinations in mind at the moment. They all kind of agreed that this was something they should probably do right now, especially because of the way the town kind of views them. And the first thing that you guys did was you went to speak to the one person in town who probably would know the most about goblins. His name was Davrin Hosk. He was the owner of the Goblin Squash Stables and a former goblin hunter in his own right. And you learned a little bit about goblins and their culture from him. He had apparently been a prolific hunter of them and helped wipe out one of the tribes in the area. But deeming that his information was interesting but not really all that useful, the party decided to follow up on their next lead, which was the one they thought was more promising, because they had learned that absent from the Swallowtail Festival was the father, one of the local town nobles, of the proprietor of the inn, Mr. Longiku. And so they investigated his house. They had a very terse conversation with him. He insisted that he had nothing to do with the attacks, and the party did not really believe him. They also learned a little bit about some other nobles, and specifically the Scarnetti family, whose manor they decided to break into and look for clues, which they were promptly driven out of by a strange magical statue of a manticore. Having kind of run dry in that department and learned all they thought they were going to learn, they returned to the Rusty Dragon. They drank themselves to sleep, and they awoke the next morning to find that Ameko was comforting a woman who was crying. She was in the inn with her children, and she was kind of crying. And thank you so much, Smexy Vampire, for following. Welcome to the madness, my friend.
Madness.
Yes. So the crying woman, the players sort of in a roundabout way asked. They learned that this is the wife of someone, a guy who lives nearby, and apparently during the night their child had complained that had said that he had seen a goblin in his room, and when the father went to investigate it, and the family ran out of the house, he never joined them. He never actually left the building, and so
what a bastard!
Yeah,
Right?
and so the woman, Amel Allergast, was sort of in the Rusty Dragon crying in the morning because she was certain that something had happened to her husband. And Ameko asked the party if they could go investigate, if they could go see if he was all right and see what was going on. And so that's kind of where we left off. Do you guys? I'm gonna throw it over to you guys. Do you guys remember what happened when you went in the house?
Oh yeah.
Why don't you fill us in on that?
Oh. Okay. No.
That was a rhetorical question.
So, our precious little dwarf went to the bedroom window and was being a peeping Tom, peeping dwarf, whatever. And I went in through the front door, followed by, well, I don't really know where Kismet was. She was just hiding in the bushes drunk. She was having a conversation with a primrose, I think. But, ironically, not joined by our precious druid, who was just behind me, I think. And we went into the front door, and we're making our way towards the back door. And since Balin doesn't like to have things pop out behind him, and he believes in clearing corners, we stopped at the first door on the right, which was the child's bedroom, and discovered all of the various accoutrements that you would normally find in a child's bedroom, including a faceless father.
Ew.
Well, okay, maybe you wouldn't normally find that in a child's bedroom, but we found one in this one. And he had his head in the closet like he was, trying to blow grains of rice across the floor, because that's so damn entertaining. And in the process of pulling him back from the closet, we noticed that his face had been chewn off, and very perturbed at being robbed of its chew toy, a goblin went out of the hole in the floor, and my hammer is about to come down on its face. So.
Yeah. So you guys turned this person over. There was a hole in the floor, and out of it sprang a goblin right at, and I'm going to move you guys over to the page, because it sprang out right at Balin's face. And let me turn the grid off, because I turned it, the grid on, because I turned it off. So, as that is happening, I'm going to have all of you guys, we're going to jump right into it. We're going to roll some initiative. And I gotta delete all these, because that's all that. So, 2. Awesome. And
I
let me
can only get to my thing.
yeah, let me grab your token. Hold on. All right.
Yeah.
Kismith, by the way, woke up a little bit late, so she is running down the street after the group at this point. So why don't you? Well, tell me when you've all kind of started rolling some initiative. I will.
We all have.
Yeah, let me roll it for Lycon because he is in here
Short.
somewhere. We're a character. Yeah, that's exactly it. Lycon, here we are. All right, let's throw some music on, some Sandpoint music.
No, that's Star Trek. Sorry.
How come there's 2 of me?
There are.
You're just that popular.
I like asexually reproduce now.
Now
We
that
use
one.
one of them as the goblin token so we can beat on it.
All right, so Balin, you got a 2. I just had his sheet out and I missed it. So Lycon gets a 21.
Nice.
All right. I mean,
And Kismith, we're just gonna assume you're gonna go at 0 because you're still booking it.
Did it not roll?
I didn't.
Oh, I'm. Sorry.
Yeah, but you're not there, so you don't even know there's a fight going on.
That's true. I'm just like, man, it's nice in the woods. Is this at night?
No, this is like first thing in the morning.
Oh, I'm not even awake yet. I fell asleep.
All right, so let me let's do this. Got some do. Okay, cool. So first up is going to be Lycon, and he kind of is. He hears the screeching sound coming from the closet, and probably Balin reacting a little bit. Though I don't want to say Balin lets out a girly scream. We won't say that.
it's a manly scream.
Yeah.
It's a manly. He's not averse to screaming if there's good reason to.
Just manishly.
And Lycon will, and I totally closed the sheet and I shouldn't have. I'll just do this. Nope, I'll make it pop out. That's a better idea. Lycon will kind of stride his dwarven frame into the door and be like, what's going on? And then he sort of sees what's kind of the scene over Xantor's shoulder. But he can't really get to the goblin because of the closet, because of the wall in there. So he's gonna be like, do you need help in there, friend?
It's okay. Sorry to break under the pressure. Didn't mean to start laughing hysterically. Oh my god! I should have been speaking in Balin's voice long before we ever got to this. Okay, now I'm all right. Everything's fine. So, dropping, Chewy McChew face over there, just and trying to bring the hammer across instead of down to block the incoming thing. It might be necessary, and backing up against the wall.
Okay. Here's the basically you can kind of put yourself on the wall, but there's really only enough room in the space next to you for like one other person to reach in. So Xantor, if you're in front of Balin, so if you wanted to like step in there and kind of get a swing into the closet, you could, or you could let Xantor Lycon pass by and get in there.
So if I step to the side, that's not using my turn, right?
No. I mean, like you could either let him pass and get into the thing, but there wouldn't be much room for you to reach in there, or you can kind of take the step in.
I'll step to the side.
Okay, you're gonna let him pass?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he'll just kind of rush in, and he'll kind of try. I guess he'll try and kind of crack the goblin with his. He's using a battle axe. He's gonna try and crack the goblin in the head to get him off Balin. So here's a battle axe attack at the goblin. For a 15, which is just enough to hit as he kind of bashes this thing not with the blade, actually, just because there's not really enough room to swing an axe in there. So he just kind of hits him with the butt, and the goblin goes kind of flying off you, Balin, like back into the closet. Like he lands like. Ah! And that will be it'll be Lycon's turn. Xantor, what do you want to do?
Did he fall
He's
asleep?
muted.
No, he's muted.
He's muted. every time he talks while being muted, I'm gonna drink.
I know.
You are going to be dead by dawn, man.
So drunk. I'm gonna hold my turn. Hold my action.
Until.
Okay.
Sorry.
Do you want to hold it, or do you want to ready for a trigger?
What's the difference?
So if you you can hold your action till like after a person in the turn order, so that you can say like I want to go after Kismet, and that means your actual position in the order will move to after hers. If you say I want to ready my action, then you can say like I want to ready my action to like if someone tries to run past me, and then you would basically be holding your attack until that trigger happens, and then your ready action goes off.
I want to do that.
Okay, what are you waiting for? You can pick anything. You can pick any kind of trigger you want. You can say I'm readying my attack until something happens. What is that something?
Oh, damn it! I'm readying my attack until something happens.
We'll say until there's someone in range of someone for you to swing at. Because right now you can't actually see the goblin. He's behind a wall.
Yeah, I just hear it, so I don't want to.
Okay,
get
cool.
the mess.
Balin, you've just been kind of you kind of jumped a little bit. This thing kind of caught you off balance, but you finally kind of regained your senses. What do you want to do?
I would very much like to take my warhammer and connect it to the goblin's face at an extremely high velocity.
We'll see how much you want it. Go ahead. And
well, I wanted a pretty good amount, so I need to roll the hit, right?
Yes, you do.
That
is how D&D works.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember how to do that now.
You can just click your token, and it'll be like right up in the top left. You can just click that button.
Right up in the top left?
There's a button that says Warhammer.
Right in the left, or I could just click the word Warhammer on my character sheet. I
could.
just for some reason my brain processed that as damage only, not as rolling to hit as well. Anyway, thunk.
You swing and like you kind of you hear a crack as your hammer, the head of your hammer disappears into like the there's like a pole going across the top of the closet with like all the kids' clothing that's hanging off of it. Your hammer just catches in there, and you hear the wood crack, and the clothes ruffle, but no goblin.
Stupid children. Why don't they leave their clothes on the floor where they belong? Then they would not be in my way.
One kid hangs their clothes up.
The kid's in Sandpoint, apparently.
Yeah.
So, Kismet, you, they've actually been around the house for a good couple minutes, so I'm assuming you probably were running after them from the Rusty Dragon, like at this point you're kind of coming up the street after them.
Okay, so maybe I hear the rustling through the closet. Would I be able to?
No,
hear...
you're like outside the house and down the street, but you know where they went.
Okay.
So like you're like running up to the house. Yeah.
Okay.
But you have no idea what's going on inside. So we'll say on this turn you kind of just managed to get to the door, and you see the door is open, and you can actually see like into the house. Like they've trampled their way through here.
Okay.
You can tell by like the mud tracks.
It's a smallish house.
Yeah, it's a very small house.
Okay. So was that my move that I'm there, or do I get to do things now?
I'll say you have that. I'll say that you can have a move action, but you really don't have any standard like anything to attack right now.
Okay. Well, can I just move into the house?
Yeah.
Like creep to where the noise is coming from?
Yeah, you can hear them kind of shouting from one of the open doorways.
Okay, I would like to see what the ruckus is about, so I'm going to do. I'm assuming that's a door-ish thing.
Ish.
Yes.
Okay.
So you kind of like rush into the house where you hear all the noise, and you see
Hey,
these,
you guys!
these three, two men and a dwarf are in this very cramped child's room, and kind
That's the
of weapons
best TV
out.
show ever.
Yeah, and one of them is like.
Context.
They're one of them's got like, you know, is like halfway in the closet at the far end. Xantor is like kind of pressed up against a bed, like, you know, waiting for, just looking around. It's kind of a mess in here.
This is not what it looks like at all.
Two men and a dwarf.
We're here to save. We were here to save this guy.
Your princess was in another castle. Okay,
All
so
right.
I don't have a move action, right? I
Yeah,
can
no,
just,
that's
I'm done.
you're just kind of there right now.
So I'm just standing agape at this door, wondering, WTF bubbles.
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
Hey guys, what's going on?
Just real quick, Game Crasher says, "What's with the cool tokens and the view cones?" The view cones are the dynamic lighting feature.
Your graphics card is crashing. That's
Yes.
what it is, Rob.
Oh no!
Oh my god!
Roll 20. Fund me a new graphics card, please. Patreon? No. That's just Roll 20's dynamic lighting feature, which I make extensive use of because I like it. And also the tokens are just tokens I make in Photoshop. You know. So nothing special. So Lycon is going to, seeing kind of Balin is struggling a little bit, he's going to again try and bash this thing with his battle axe, but he's going to do it still with the hilt. He's not trying to like chop you with an axe blade. He's going to try and actually knock this goblin out, which he can't get. Like, he's jabbing into the closet with the long wooden handle of this axe, and the goblin's just kind of like ducking and dodging. No, Jarvel, I don't need a new graphics card. I have a fairly new 980, I think. All right. And as he does, he's gonna be to Balin. He's gonna be like, it's like, can't you hit it? It's right there. Or he's kind of like jostling with the elbow. He's like, move out of the way. I can't get in there. What do you want to do, Balin? It's your turn.
Oh, it's my turn?
Yes. Oh, no, I'm sorry, we passed Lycon.
Oh, it
Xantor.
isn't?
We passed
I was like,
Xantor.
wait a minute.
Sorry, my mouse is broken, and it sometimes double-clicks when I single-click.
So he does need a mouse, not a GPU.
He needs a mouse, but not a
I,
graphics.
do, I need to replace my mouse, yes. Okay, so Xantor, do you want to do anything, or are you still kind of waiting? Still muted. Now you're just doing this on purpose.
I saw mouth cam. I saw that.
I still can't reach around there. I mean, I could yell at them to move and let me handle it.
You could like pull Lycon out of the way if you wanted.
Lycon, move out of the way. Let me take a shot at this.
He'll we'll say because he's kind of like jostling with Balin, he'll kind of just take a step back and like angrily.
And then I could do aiming in the away from Balin. I want to point. He's like, yes, whatever you're doing, don't. Aiming explicitly away from Balin. I want to poison spray at the goblin, plus aiming towards the hole that it came out of.
Okay, I don't. Is poison spray a cone? I think it may be just a ranged attack. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Poison spray. Yeah, it's a creature you can see within range.
Okay.
Yeah.
So good luck.
So you're gonna poison spray into the closet. The goblin is going to make a Constitution save. Let me grab his character sheet to do that. Goblin gets a 6.
Nope.
So what is it? So he's how much damage is he taking?
7.
All right. So as you kind of reach your hand in and you kind of look away, you see like this just this like puff of green poisonous fume just bellow into the closet, and the goblin is just like he's kind of choking on it, and he can't breathe as you see him kind of like weakly hold up against the wall, as he's looking in bad shape.
All right, now you can handle the rest, Balin. I'm sure.
Thank you so much. So greatly appreciated. Get out of the closet and. Sponsorship.
So, okay, roll some damage. All right. So you kind of bring your hammer back, and now that the clothes rack is kind of broken out of the way, you just swing it down, and this goblin doesn't really have it in him to dodge out of the way. So you just kind of smash right into this kind of coughing, wheezing little thing, and you feel it kind of crunch against the stone wall of the house, and then just like as you yank your hammer back, the corpse of the goblin just kind of peels off the wall and falls down into the dark hole.
I'll reach in and grab one of the kid's shirts, which is now covered with this poison spray goop from the druid, and just kind of wipe the hammerhead off on the. He'll never know. So I'll just.
So now you just poisoned and killed some small child when he gets back. That's cool.
I'm not the one who
Dead
sprayed
anyway.
poison spray stuff all over every piece of clothing in the child's thing.
Leave it to a guy to spray things everywhere.
I'm gonna. Hey, Balin, get out of there. I want to do something real quick.
In the closet?
Yes, in the closet.
All right.
Xantor, get out of the closet.
So I wanna do a what is it called? Produce flame. I want to produce flame. Just aiming at the hole, so it kind of explodes.
Are you trying to burn into the flames into the hole to?
No,
Or are you
it's
just trying
also
to light it up?
I'm trying to light it up. It also works as a light source.
Okay. Do you not have you don't have light as a spell?
What? No, I have produce. It's multifunctional.
I understand. You're in a closet with clothing and stuff. There's
With acid-drenched clothing.
Poison drenched clothing.
Oh.
So, I mean, if the closet in the house burns, we eliminate the problem of the goblins. The kid can't use these clothes anyways, so...
All right. So you kind of you extend your hand down into the hole, like away from the clothing and stuff, and a little orb of fire just kind of appears in your hand and starts, fills this hole with light. But I mean, from where you are, you don't you don't have a great view down into it. You can kind of make it out, but the way, just from where you're standing and where the light is. You can only sort of see directly down in the hole. If you want to actually investigate anything about it, you're actually going to have to get your head down in there and look.
Hey, Kismet, you're small.
Go put your head in this hole.
Put your head in this hole and take a look around. I'll drop the flame so it just travels down the hole.
So, there's just a hole, and you want me to stick my head down in the hole?
Yes.
Did you ever see Alien? Because I saw Alien.
I saw Alien. That's why I want you to put your head in the hole.
Not bad. That's good logic.
Actually, that's what I was doing before I started doing this. So, I'm going to assume that since he, fireballed the hole, he just dropped fire, because that's how gravity works. That whatever's down there won't eat me, so... I mean, if I look down there, how am I going to see anything? It's dark.
Well, that's what the fire's for.
Okay, so apparently the fire is now...
It's not like a fireball.
It's
not
not
like
a-
it goes down
It's
there
not a
and explodes.
fireball.
It's
It's
literally
just a small light source.
Floating magical fire.
Plus,
Oh!
Aren't
So now
you,
I'm... Okay.
aren't you like a tiefling? Don't you have low light vision and dark vision?
I think... No, I'm a half-elf. Yeah, but I would have low light vision, wouldn't I?
Half elves
Don't
have dark
half-elf.
vision, I believe.
Yeah, I think so.
Technically, all of us except for I think Balin should have no problems looking in this hole.
Well, actually, stick your head in the hole.
No, it's all right. You need to contribute to this.
I know. I'm just like, hey guys, what's up? We'll stick your head in the hole and everything's square.
It's
Okay.
good for XP. Get on in there.
So,
I'm gonna.
Kismet, you're gonna kind of try and look around.
I am gonna go stick my head in the hole.
Okay, roll me a perception check, please.
A perception check. Why can I never find any of these? Do. I can click on that, right? Perception. Bloop.
No more goblin growls. Should turn that off. Okay, so as you're kind of looking around in the hole, it actually like. Are you looking for anything in particular? Or are you just trying to see like if this goes anywhere, if it's a tunnel, anything like that?
Yeah, I'm just wondering how far down it goes, or,
Okay.
or where it came from, or
So-
if there's something that wants to eat my face.
Yeah, so the whole, what you pretty much immediately realize is that there's only probably about 3 feet of space or so before just solid dirt, like pretty hard packed dirt. It looks like the hole is. It's like it doesn't look like it looks like this is probably more of a crawl space under the floorboards rather than anything that's been recently dug out, because there's no dirt that's piled anywhere. There's no sign that this was recently like caved in or anything. You don't see a tunnel that leads anywhere. From what you can tell, because of the bits of wood that are actually kind of scattered around in the dirt directly below you, your best guess is that the goblin probably tore through the floor and went down into here rather than came up out of here.
Okay. So, but I can't tell if like it's going anywhere. It just looks like a.
Not that you can see.
Huh. That's weird. Okay. So can I like drop down into it?
I mean, like I said, it's probably about 2.5, 3 feet. It's dark. It'd be very cramped. You could possibly crawl down there, but there's not a whole lot of space to maneuver or anything.
Okay, maybe I'll just. I mean, so I don't really see anything else. There's
No.
nothing.
You don't.
Okay.
You see some kind of some stains of blood on the dirt.
Oh, good.
Some scraps of what look like they may be rats or something that the goblin may have chewed on, and the bits of wood that look like they came from the floor. The hole.
So
in
is
the
he
floor.
just living in the hole?
It's your conclusion to draw.
Hey guys, repeat what Askren said to you. What do you think about said hole?
If there is no way, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, if there is no evidence that this goblin came in from somewhere else, then it must have broken into the house, gone to the child's room, and then crawled down, broken through the floor in the child's closet, and then been hiding down there. Why not simply, not that I think like a goblin very often, but why not simply kill the child and eat them right then? I don't understand that.
It's fine. I think we've done what needs to be, and I just start pulling the clothes off the hanger and dumping them in the hole. Toss me the blanket on top of the bed, and I'm just gonna pack the hole back up.
I feel like we just need a theme song for you, like Firestarter, just playing in the background the entire time.
I'm not gonna burn the clothes. I'm just packing the hole so that the kid knows not to go in here. There's acid all over these clothes, so he can't wear them anymore.
Poison, not acid.
Poison. I'm just doing my duty to protect these people if they want to live here again. So
Okay, so since I was a bit behind, were these people here when you guys got here, or
no?
They were no. You just like them.
He was.
You encountered the
dead dad?
mother. No. You encountered the woman, Amel Allergast, and her young son and her basically almost newborn baby, in the Rusty Dragon. That's where they were.
okay?
And the husband, she said, had not. They had left the house when the husband had decided to go take the goblin that the kid had found out of the house, kill it, whatever. But he had never come back. So.
Oh, so the kid knew that there was a goblin there and was just like, the goblin didn't kill the kid?
I mean, Do you guys remember the conversation you had with the child?
It was something about I wish I did know what to say to make the goblins come and take you away right now, and through dangers untold. No, that's Labyrinth.
Well, well, we thought it was a good idea when the kid's eyes turned red and he was like, "Yes, yes, go visit my bedroom. I mean, help me."
Look in the closet.
So, so you guys, Kismet, you're kind of stepping out of the closet, and you realize something you may have overlooked, probably because you may have not seen it on the map. But at your feet is not only obviously the body of this man that has been dragged out of the closet, but there's also the kind of mashed, like sort of mutilated corpse of a very small dog.
Oh. Wait, so did the kid's eyes really turn red?
No.
No.
Okay, you guys are like, sure, we'll go get rid of your boogeyman.
We wouldn't have been here.
Yes, you would have. He'd be like, okay. Wow, that's weird. That the goblin would be just chilling in a closet. I'm not gonna sleep well tonight, thanks.
That's why I say we just pack the hole and call it a night.
That's your answer to everything, is to pack the hole.
It's a good solution.
That's a 9 out of 10. It works.
Because, of course, clearly, if we pack this hole with clothing, if they can break through all of this dirt and wood and floorboards, clothing should be there's no way they could possibly dig through those. I'm sure packing the hole with clothing will work fine. I'm not saying we should burn the place. I'm just saying.
So, do you guys want to do anything, or do you want to, like, obviously you're doing what you can to kind of seal the hole a little bit. Is there anything else you want to do around the house?
I'm gonna take the dog outside and bury it.
I was gonna say, Xantor, maybe you should check out the dog, since that's like the umpteenth dead dog we've seen.
It's dead, and the deities that lead us on this journey. My druid feelings are challenging him. I'm gonna take him out and bury him in that nice little flower garden out front.
Okay. So as you're kind of watching Xantor make his way out, out of the house with this little kind of dead dog wrapped in a blanket,
Gross.
Xantor, you kind of, when you get to the doorway, you see that there are a couple people that have kind of gathered on the road, not like directly in front of the house, but definitely on the road within sight. Like they're aware that something has happened, and they're kind of watching from a little bit of a distance. And actually, as you're kind of looking around the crowd, making your way to the garden, you see the both Ameko and the woman Amel, who was crying in the tavern. They're kind of making their way up the road towards you.
We found what ails you. Your dog's dead, and so is your husband. I'm gonna go bury the body. I don't have charisma, so
I was gonna say tact.
I'm saying exactly as it is.
I'm not saying what you're saying isn't true. We'll discuss tact another time. I'm gonna clear this last bedroom.
Okay. There's one more bedroom we didn't even clear.
Yeah.
I'll just tell you as you can open the door. It's clearly an adult's bedroom. The bed is unmade, but there's no signs of like anything out of the ordinary here.
I mean, except the hole in the closet. So.
I did think it was weird that the house only had like a children's bedroom and like a kitchen. But
I didn't realize like that you had blocked it off. I'm like, why is that just the weirdest damn shaped house I've ever seen?
Yeah.
No, it's just a there is an adult bedroom. It looks like they just kind of left in the middle of the night. There's no disturbance or anything here.
Well, not they, just her.
Just her. He didn't quite make it.
He's still here.
So once I'll say once you guys kind of emerge out of the house, you see Xantor is kind of standing there, like, and Ameko is like, she's looking a little bit shocked as Amel is just sobbing into Ameko's shoulder.
Because God forbid she should mourn the death of her husband.
Should we bury his body in the front yard next to the dog?
I presume you're asking Amel that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm yelling at her. We can bury him next to the dog if you want. Give
Ameko
him a
will kind of snap a look at whoever comes out of the house first, and she'll say, "Could you maybe make your friends stop talking?"
That's all you, big guy.
If he were my friend, I might consider doing that, but more of an associate, really, at this point.
She says, "Well, whatever. I mean, he has an
I
odd way of
understand.
delivering news."
Yes, I know. Very crass, no sense of tact. I understand. Believe me, I have to deal with it far more often than you do.
Your husband's dead.
Well, okay, speaking of that point, I'm going to walk over to Amel and say that it is my sad duty to inform you that your husband has fallen to his foe. However, know that he did fight well, and his foe was taken down.
Part of his face got eaten, though.
However,
Xantor, maybe we could. But let's go bury the dog quietly.
by any chance do you know a seamstress with incredibly thick cordage that could sew his mouth shut? That might teach him a bit of manners, or kind of a bone glue we can just right across the lips.
So Amel is kind of a wreck, and Ameko is trying to console her. But it does seem like there is a small crowd of people that's kind of gathering on the road to kind of watch what's happened, gossip and talk about the events. And as all this is happening, you all see everyone kind of turning their heads as a very unhappy looking Sheriff Hemlock is walking towards the house. He's making his way right towards you guys, and as he kind of comes up to Ameko and where Ameko and Amel and Balin are standing, he kind of looks around. He says, "What happened here?"
And before anybody can respond, I'm going to look at the sheriff with a rather stern look on the face and say, "You wait your turn." And I'm going to go over to the crowd of people and say, "For those of you with breath to sit here and gossip, perhaps you should go and comfort your neighbor instead of standing over here like callous fucks. Now either help or get the hell out of here." And I'll walk back to the sheriff and say,
"Do me a favor, roll me an intimidation check."
"Okay."
I'm intimidated. Damn.
10.
The group of people that you just kind of level this sort of invective at, they look very shocked, and they're just kind of speechless for a second, and then
Good, then they're not talking anymore. Excellent.
and then a couple of them start murmuring something. You see some of them just kind of very, very timidly turn and walk away. A couple more very townspeople, mostly women, are sort of coming over, walking very, very slowly, very dejectedly towards Amel and Ameko, and kind of coming around her.
We were told to come over here and console you.
Well, I mean, they're a little bit embarrassed. They honestly, you have to understand. Most of these people, you get the sense, didn't know what was going on until they don't act they're. No one really knows what happened in the house. It's pretty much just you.
Don't care.
But yeah. So I mean, they're most of them are just kind of walk away very dejectedly. And
Good.
when you return, Sheriff Hemlock, he's his arms are crossed and he's looking very sternly at you.
And so, looking at Amiko and Sheriff Dorklock, shall we step over here away from the young lady? We can discuss this over here. And I will step away a little closer towards Xantor and freshly dug grave.
He'll kind
I'll
of
get started on it.
he'll kind of look around, And before he kind of walks over, he just looks at the group. He says, "There's nothing to see here. Move along."
Can't say I agree with that.
And the group of people, I mean, the ones that are left, they kind of start slowly dispersing. I mean, it's not like a group of like 100 people, but they kind of start slowly dispersing, and even though they're probably talking, you can hear kind of them talking under their breath, and Hemlock will walk over to the house with you, and he says, I have to say, I don't enjoy being given orders in my own jurisdiction.
Go ahead. I'll allow you to say it. Go on.
Oh my god.
He just kind of furrows his brow. He says, "That'll be the last time that happens."
So I'm gonna interrupt them, kind of, to cut the tension.
Before this pissing contest gets any worse.
Waylon is very scary, and I don't want him to eat the sheriff.
Who probably has like a head
15
and
levels
shoulders
on him.
Yeah.
Nom nom nom, Sheriff Pops. So I'm still kind of. I'm gonna tell the sheriff that I walked in a little late, and there seems to have been a goblin living in a little boy's bedroom, and I'm not entirely sure what was going on, and I would like to figure that out as passively as possible.
So, are you telling, like, do you have anything specific you want to say, or are you just trying to what are you trying to convey to him?
So which one's the wife?
She's over with a Mako.
Female.
Amel is the wife. She's over with a Mako, just kind of being consoled by a Mako and some of the townspeople. She's not next to you guys.
Okay.
By the way, let me put this guy here. So.
Maybe we could call her over, because I'm still incredibly confused why there was a goblin hole in a kid's bedroom.
Yeah, she's probably not in a great condition to like to do detective work right now. She's pretty broken up. As you can see, she's like clutch. You saw she had a very young baby with her, and she had a young child. But the sheriff kind of he looks at the group of you. He says, "I need to know exactly what happened in there."
Does somebody want to answer that? That was maybe there for 5 minutes longer than I was.
Oh, was that directed? Sorry.
I think
that was
Xantor
British.
still, like-
That was British. Man, British, Scottish, keep drifting away from the Russian. I don't know how Rob does it. He maintains this Russian accent all the time. Okay, so was that directed at me?
He
Please.
says, Are you capable of providing a debriefing, or should I ask your friends?
How long do I have to come up with an answer for that? Let me before I answer that, let me explain to you where this acidic tongue comes from. When we were all at the festival and the goblins attacked, it was us against the goblins. For this, there is some hero status I don't quite understand, whatever. So we run to the northern gates, and there again is us, plus this fuckwit, I don't know what his name is, standing around screaming, he doesn't have a weapon, he can't fight, you have fists on the end of your arm. Never mind, that's a different topic altogether. But again, it was us who were fighting. After that fighting was done, in come your soldiers. And we're like, okay, so we come over here, boom, goblin, we take care of it. Again, no soldiers. I would love to know what you're training your people for and where the hell are they? Every time a goblin attack has happened, it has been us, with none of your people around. This is the source of my anger.
He puts a hand up to stop you, like right before you finish your sentence. He says, I don't know if you are aware, so I will make you. I'm here because a woman ran to a tavern to report there was a break-in into her house, rather than alerting myself or one of my patrolmen. I am here because when something happens in the middle of the night and I am not the first one to know about it, I tend to arrive a few minutes late.
May I ask a question? I don't know where that came from. I don't know who it was that made that noise. you guys are all way over here. So, okay, all right,
I'm
it was
like
you.
in the golf hole right now.
Okay.
Sorry, my camera's crazy out of focus. Go ahead. He says, he doesn't really answer. He just kind of, like, looks at you.
Is Amel over here now?
No, she hasn't walked over.
Okay, good. Good. What has happened in this town that she felt more secure in going to a tavern than seeking out the constabulary? If even your own citizens do not have the confidence to come to you when something is going wrong, like someone breaking into their home, and instead go to a tavern to find assistance, what does this say?
He kind of closes his eyes for a second and, like, puts his fingers together. He says, I know you're new here. Sandpoint is not a large town. We don't have a lot of people. We are a small merchant town. We sometimes have travelers coming through on their way to bigger cities. We have been kept very well protected within our own borders by generous assistance of those who have the ability to leave the town to keep it safe. However, until recently, things have been very, very quiet. Now, I know you would not know this. My own people don't know this. But I'm leaving tomorrow morning to visit Magnamar. And when I'm there, I will be petitioning the Marshal of the Guard to give us troops so that I may keep my town secure, so that this does not happen again. But until that happens, I have 9 men with armor, 4 with bows, and a militia that consists of barely 15. I appreciate the help you have provided this town, and I dearly, dearly wish that you will continue to do so. But we do not have unlimited resources. We do not have unlimited foresight. I take what measures I can with what I am given. Is there any other questions?
At this point, I walk up and I say, let her know that her kid can't wear any of the clothes anymore.
Getting into snorty laughter range, huh? That's good. That's good.
That was like the best thing that ever happened. In the last 5 minutes.
And then I take Balin and I say, we should probably go search the other cities since this guy looks like he's rather busy dealing with whatever it is he does for a job. But I whisper that.
That's probably whisper material.
Yeah, maybe. Just a touch. Yeah, the sheriff is very rapidly falling into the same level of respect as Sandro. Oh, wow. Okay. Just starting to give no fucks about any of the authority figures in this town.
And we're screwed. I'm so glad I'm hanging out with you guys.
I'm kidding. I'm not starting to. I haven't had any faith in their constabulary for a long time. No, Balin just stands there and says nothing.
He kind of looks around. He says, if you have business around town, I suggest I suggest you take care of it. I've taken 2 of my men off of their normal duty, so we can secure this house. We can lock down any possible entrances or exits, and make sure that there is no more threat.
At this point, I walk right up to the captain, and I look at him just blankly, and I say, "This house is clean."
Half a second before you said it, I was like, "Oh, I bet, yep."
There isn't really any need to post guards here. Maybe in other areas. I think we've kind of handled this, and there is no need for them to go here. Like, that makes your job kind of useless. But we would like to get some more food and some more beer or ale.
I'm sure your local tavern owner can provide those things. Is there anything else? Because I have to send a message to Magnamar to get this woman's family in town. She'll need a place to stay, as her husband is no longer with us.
Are there any more reports of where... Actually, I have a question. Where are your men not stationed in town right now? Because I think that is where we will go next, as that's probably where we are needed.
We've unfortunately had to take everyone off of patrols and station them at the walls and the gates and the docks.
So that's where the goblins won't be. Okay, so we'll go to all the other locations.
That's actually a good idea. Do you have anywhere that you think we would be of value?
He says, I did not even know that there were any goblins left in the town until this morning. I have no way of knowing where, if there still are, or where they would be. I assume you may have a suggestion, and if not,
Do we have a suggestion?
It's possible. Kismet, while you were down there, could you get any idea of how long the goblin had been there?
Ooh. Did I?
roll me an intelligence check.
I was going to try not to laugh, and then you screwed it up by chuckling.
Okay. Did it bloop?
Yes.
No, it didn't bloop, but you got a point.
Yeah. Okay, so you saw like 2 chewed up rats. So honestly, you don't know much about goblin, like how often and how much goblins eat, but just from what you saw, it couldn't have been more than maybe a day or 2.
Okay.
Assuming that it ate like not both of those rats very shortly.
And the dog.
But then there was the dead dog too. Was the dog?
The dog wasn't
not
eaten. The
fine?
dog was just killed. And the dog was also in the room. It wasn't in the hole.
Right.
They have like dead dog pets. Okay, I'm gonna say I'm assuming that based on my limited goblin knowledge that this guy hadn't been down there more than a few days.
Hemlock, do you remember if this family was at the celebration?
I have no reason to believe they weren't.
So I would guess that's when the goblin made entry. Went in while the family was away, dug into the child's room, and hid there. Hopefully.
He kind of... Okay, so you guys haven't actually told Hemlock what happened inside, but he's kind of...
sure.
He's kind of like... He's... You can tell he's kind of trying to piece what he can together in his head, and he's saying... How... And From what I gather, there was only one goblin.
Only one that we saw. The hole was not big enough for more than that, really.
I have a
Who-
I have a question.
Hmm.
Who is this man to the town? The man that lived here.
What does he do? Did he do before he had his face chewed off?
Who had he pissed off?
Goblins, but that's easy to do.
He says, Aaron Allergast, he was a merchant's clerk as far as I know.
A merchant clerk for which family?
For no family, he worked down on the docks. He took records of intakes, things like that. It's no one special. My guess, he says, I don't know how much you know about goblins, but from what it sounds like, this one may have been driven this far south when the fighting began during the festival, may have gotten splintered from the group. They fled in large numbers to the north through the gates. Not many of them fled south. This one may have gotten broken off, looked for a place to hide, and simply been trapped.
Do goblins typically take to hiding in people's homes? Have you ever heard of that before?
They don't tend to. They don't tend to visit civilizations much. They'll hide just about anywhere they can.
A child would be pretty close to the same size as a goblin anyway, so...
They could share each other's clothes.
Perhaps. And as uncomforting as the idea might sound, I suspect that children smell particularly appetizing to goblins.
He says, the Allergasts had a dog, didn't they?
Hmm.
Yep.
Had a dog.
I just point to the grave where I just buried him. I gave him a good return back to Earth.
He says, I assume that may be the reason the thing was kept in the closet. They're kind of frightened of dogs.
But if the dog was dead, why wouldn't it have just left?
Father.
But his face was missing.
Perhaps the father heard the dog. I mean, the child heard the goblin, went to tell his parents. The father went in. Goblin kills the dog before the father gets there. Father comes in. Mother and the kids leave. Father goes in to try to deal with the goblin. No more face, no more dog.
And
As
then we
to why
bungled
then,
in.
and we bumbled in the while he was chewing on the man's face.
Ah. That makes sense.
Yeah,
Unfortunately.
the sheriff just kind of slowly nods. He says, anyway, do we think there's anything else we can do here? Or should we just lock down this house?
I can go get the body so we can bury it.
I was just about to do that, actually.
I'll call for the clergy to deal with that.
That's what I was going to do. I was going to wrap it up and take it to the temple, but that's all right. If you want to do it your way, that's fine.
I'd rather not parade a body through the streets if I can avoid it.
At that point, I'll turn around to face Xantor and said, you had suggestions for other places we should go.
Yes, I did.
Pick one.
Okay.
Now tell us what it is.
Oh, I've already started. I say that we should go to wherever. No. So what we should do is we should look for the homes where there were people at the festival where the goblins scattered to, because there may be one or two more goblins hiding in this town. And we should probably help everyone clear them out.
That's actually not a bad idea. If one of them was hiding, there may be more.
turn around to face the sheriff and say, if I may respectfully make a suggestion. Any of your citizens who have especially large dogs, have them go house to house, search every room. If they find a goblin, report to someone who does not run a tavern, preferably a guard or yourself.
He says, would you do me a favor? There's a blacksmith just up the road, just south of the cathedral, a Red Dog Smithy. The man there, Das Corvat, older gentleman, survivor of events in town. He has his building's namesake is his 2 large red bloodhounds. Go talk to him, tell him what you need.
Balin's going to stand there staring for a good few moments before nodding and unceremoniously turning and walking away.
Okay. So
I'm going to tell the sheriff that we think that's a fantastic idea and we will follow up.
Okay. So you guys sort of turn and make your way away from the house, where the scene is this. Sorry, let me. My mouse is acting up. I can't grab this ribbon. Why can't I do this? There we go. Okay. So the house that you guys were at was right around here. It was like right over here. Somewhere. So you guys want to make your way, follow his instructions and make your way up the street to the smithy, or do you want to go somewhere else?
Let's go get puppies.
Let's be clear. The idea wasn't his. It was mine. The moment he said that, during that few moments of Balin staring, it was just Balin fighting desperately against the urge to go, okay, so I make a suggestion to you, and you turn it into an assignment. It's no wonder no one has any confidence in the constabulary. Do you even fucking do your own job? Anyway, he decided, from now on, I'll let everybody else deal with this half-fuck. So, and we'll just leave.
I thought you didn't want me talking to people.
You know, with regard to him, I don't care. You can talk to the sheriff all you want. I don't care. Because I am far less worried about your ability to communicate than I am worried about him to be able to do his job. So, moving on. Balin's also beginning to regret ever coming to this town. I mean, not the town, just the guards and everything. It's just, he's not impressed at all.
Are there Snickers bars in this?
I doubt it. Oh, right. He is a bit bitchy, isn't he? But he's got really good reason to be. Really good reason to be.
Balin,
well, I mean, your town is under attack. I think I'll go to Magnamar. Fuck that. You send someone to Magnamar.
I don't think.
Never mind. Never mind. Balin hates this guy. He just hates him. That's all it is. Balin just hates the sheriff. He wants to give him a nice, healthy dose of his own namesake. He wants the guy gone. Anyway, sorry, go ahead.
No. I was saying, I'm sure he could send someone to Magmar, and that person would be greatly useful in cutting through the bureaucracy there.
That's what swords were made for. And again, that's Balin logic. Sorry. It's just...
All right. I'm opening my second beer. So where are you guys headed?
I can agree with the half elf gnome tiefling, whatever she is. I have no idea anymore. What species are you anyway?
Half of an elf.
Okay. Which half?
I don't
Never
know
mind.
where the other
The
half
left.
of me went, but there's like
Left half.
at least one ear's pointy.
All right. So
I'm
you guys,
fine with that.
So Kismet, you want to make your way north and try and find the smithy?
Yes, I want the puppies.
Okay, cool. As you kind of take the road along the coast, you pass the large lumber mill, which is sort of, you can hear the gears turning as it just starts its morning operation. And as you pass the houses and stuff on the way, you come up here to number 15, which is when you get there, you can see that that there is like a sign hanging outside of just a dog's head, and it just says Red Dog Smithy.
Red dog.
It's a the building itself is kind of like a traditional blacksmith place. Like, it's got these very big kind of like barn-like doors that open, that basically leave the entire sort of front section of the building like open to the air. And you know, they're kind of wide open, and as you're approaching up the street, you can kind of smell the charcoal fumes and stuff, and you can hear kind of the clanging sound. And as you pass, just before you get into the doors, you see there are these two very, very large mastiffs that are just kind of like sitting, like sleeping, you know, right next to one of the open doors.
Xantor, you wanna druid us some puppy juju?
I'm really glad that there was a different syllable there. I was really worried what you were going to say. Puppy juice. I'm like, oh!
I'm gonna.
He's not that kind of druid.
Good.
Thank God I'm not. Jeez. I'm gonna walk up to the druid. I'm the druid. I'm gonna walk up to the dog and
Dogs up.
And-
There's two of them.
I'm gonna walk up to the dogs, plural, and I'm gonna like get down to like their level, get on my knees, and say, "Hello, friends." I'm gonna do it. This is animal, or is this animal handling or nature?
Depends what
This
you
is
want.
animal
What are you trying to do?
I'm just
You're just talking to them?
befriending them. Yeah, I'm just like, "Hey guys, nothing to worry about, buddies."
I mean, they're both pretty, like, they, like, neither of them even raised their head, like, when you're approaching. They're both pretty, like, just enjoying the sun and just kind of chilling.
I
Do
know.
we see the owner standing around anywhere?
Yeah,
I
the
still-
doors are open. You can see inside. He's
You
like,
guys can walk past. Let me do my druid thing with
I'm
the
just-
dogs.
Just picturing the druid standing there going,
He's a good puppy. He's a nice puppy.
right, so I'll walk in.
So you pass by Xantor, who is just kind of down, like kneeling down, just kind of like, just kind of talking to and petting these dogs that are just too lazy to care. And as you enter these doors, you can see inside is pretty dark, but it's lit by sort of the glow of a forge at the back. And there's a big man, like if the sheriff had like a head on you, Balin, this guy has head and shoulders. He's a big dude. Like hairy mutton chops on his kind of round face, and he's pretty heavily muscled too. He's wearing like a blacksmith's apron with these kind of long leather gloves, and you can see him sort of pulling a piece of, like a thick piece of metal out of the forge. As he turns and sees you, he just kind of like his eyebrows furrowed. Like, you can't really read his expression other than annoyed, and as he very slowly places this metal down on like the anvil in front of him, he says, "Yes, what do you want?"
You are Das Corvid?
"I am. Who are you?"
Hemlock sent us to ask if we could borrow your compatriots here to search the houses for goblins, any that may be hiding.
You want what?
Try again.
He
Hemlock,
may not know.
you do know who that is. Yes.
He says, "Yes, I know, Sheriff. What do you want? What do you want?"
We recently, just down the street, had discovered a small goblin hiding in a child's closet, which we subsequently dispatched. The goblin, not the child, or the closet. So I had recommended to the sheriff that he tell the various peoples around Sandpoint that if they have large dogs or neighbors with large dogs, that they take these dogs and use them to see if they could search the town and find out if there are any other homes in which goblins may be hidden. He said that we should come and talk to you about it. Shall I go over it again?
You want dogs?
Yes, please.
He kind of lets the metal that he's still kind of holding in the tongs just kind of clang down onto the anvil, and then he you see him kind of run like a greasy leather glove through his mostly balding hair. He says, actually, by the way, Balin, I do need you to roll me a persuasion check. Okay. He kind of like he actually when he lets the metal down, he actually takes a step closer to you. So he's like about a foot or so away and kind of looking down at you, and like very intense eyes. You can't really, like, his mouth is just kind of unmoving, like it's just stern, and he just kind of looks at you for a second. He says, "You say you helped child?" I had a son. No one helped him.
Aww.
Says, I let you have dog. You help child. And then he kind of just, he's just kind of looking at you, like just watching your expression for a couple seconds.
Are they leash trained? Do we have to?
I don't think that'll be a problem. I'm laying down flat with the dogs, like laying exactly like they are, on all fours, just laying next to them.
He as Xantor is kind of shouting, he'll just very slowly raise a hand and put a finger up, and then he kind of pushes the finger against your chest, Balin. He says, "You help. You," he says, "you make promise. You have dog. You find my child."
How long is your Russian? How long has your child been missing? What the fuck is that? And suddenly I'm from Murmansk. Okay. How long has your child been missing?
He says, "Missing? No. Dead. 5 years.
That sort of missing.
Oy. Wait, so he wants us to find his dead kid?
Are you saying that in character? Or
Out loud?
is that out loud or is that to me?
That was in my head.
Okay.
I would maybe deliver that slightly differently.
He's kind of quiet for a second. He says, 5 years. Killer in streets. Everybody they find. But my child. But my son. 5 years. I not bury him.
Are you sure he's dead?
He just kind of turns his head towards you. Really angry look on his face. He says, he is dead. I know. You bring him to me. I must bury my son.
Tell me about your son.
He says, "What do you want to know?"
When he was taken, how old was he? How big?
9. He was small boy. Had stuffed dog.
Stuffed dog looked like those. Fuck, English again. You stuffed a dog. Did it look like those?
He says, "Yes, his mother make it for him."
Aww.
Where was he lost? Was he taken from here? Somewhere else in town? The rest of the people who were taken and found, were they all found in the same place?
Give me 1 second. He says,
I'm trying to remember if this was the chopper incident that we heard about before.
Yeah, I think that. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I'm getting.
he says, "Him and mother murdered in street."
Mm. Murdered in the streets. And then their bodies were taken?
No, only him. Only my son, nobody. Will you do this or not?
Say yes. Say yes.
Yes.
He just kind of looks at you very, very sternly for, I don't know, like there's a long silence. He's just,
It's okay. Balin's used to standing around looking somewhat imposing and just staring at people. It's fine. He can handle
yeah.
it.
He just kind of, there's a long pause and then you just, good. You go.
So do they need leashes or do we just let the druid handle it?
He kind of slowly raises an arm and points, and you see, like, you follow with your eyes his big kind of meaty arm, and he's pointing to a tool, like a wall of hanging tools and stuff, and there are kind of curled up
Something and it kind of went,
It popped.
yeah. And I can still see him talking, but I can't hear you anymore.
Did you?
Very vaguely. There you are. There you
Yay.
are. So. Hmm.
Yeti. There we go. Fixed.
Die.
So yeah, you see
Curled
him,
up.
you see him kind of pointing to what's probably some leather leashes that are kind of, you know, roped up on this wall of tools.
And what are their names?
He says, Mikhail Vladimir.
Right. If we should get separated from them, do you have a whistle you used to call them?
He just kind of raises an eyebrow and then pulls off one of his leather gloves and with two kind of bat fingers just goes, like, whistles really, really sharply.
Oich.
And Xantor, you're kind of rolling around in the dirt with the dogs, and both of their heads just bolt upright.
Since they're mastiffs, sheets of slobber everywhere.
Yeah, probably. Oh no, it looks like Sirenscape did a thing. Hold on.
It
Oh
did a
no, it looks like Sirenscape did a thing.
Yeah, it stopped playing. I don't know why.
Oh, not a bad thing. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you meant the company did a thing, and then you sounded like you were disappointed. I was like,
Oh.
what? They're cool people. What?
They did a thing.
Never mind.
They said we no longer want to support your show. That's not true, by the way. Sirenscape does support our show because they're great.
Yay!
All right. Town. Yeah. There we go. All right. So, what do you want to do?
What?
I said, what do you want to do?
Okay, you kind of started to fade out there again.
What do you want to do?
Well, I don't want to wait for our lives to be over.
I wish I could bottle you and just take you with me.
That sounds so gross.
Well, you can bottle up part of him.
It does. No. Mulligan. I can record you and take you with me.
That's different.
You know, they make these things that you can actually do that with. It's called a phone.
Shh. Don't logic me. It'll break.
It's meaning your brain, right? Or, yeah, okay. Okay, so it was Mikhail and Gorbachev, right? No, it wasn't.
Vladimir. Mikhail Vladimir.
What?
Mikhail Vladimir.
Yeah. Vladimir, that was it. Thank you.
Puppy number 1 and puppy number 2.
Yeah, I'm sure it's going to wind up that way. So I will I will kind of nod to Doss and go over and grab the leads and walk over and wait until Adam gets back.
Okay.
And I will drop the leather to him and say, "These are for your brethren," and just kind of walk out.
I'll walk the puppies until Adam decides to. We just assume he's around the.
It's a really good thing
Yeah,
you
when
not
you-
known
when-
because they
when
would
you-
just drag you like a sled team.
When you bring the leashes over to the dogs, they kind of get up and they look, you know, they're pretty eager to be put on the leash. They are kind of lazy, but at the same time, like, they appreciate being walked around. So they'll kind of let you put the leashes on them. But again, these are big red mastiffs. I'm assuming Kismet is not particularly tall. They probably are like half your size, like what, you know, height wise.
Can I ride them like
I
a
knew
pony?
that was coming. See, if you were a gnome, I bet you could get away with that.
Yeah,
Roll
they're-
to
they're-
see if I ride a mastiff.
You're both medium sized creatures. So if you're a small creature, maybe. By the way, that's
I mean, apparently haven't eaten this morning, so
no, you
You're
haven't.
light.
You skipped. That's actually in Pathfinder. That's legitimately the only way of making the Cavalier class actually function, because it's a class that's entirely based on riding a mount and charging into combat. But if you're a medium creature, you can only ride a large creature, and it's like you can't fit a horse into a dungeon. It doesn't work.
Stop it. Stop it.
So but I'm saying like the only way people ever play Cavalier
mean
is
you.
they play they play a small, like a halfling or a gnome, and they ride a dog.
I love the show. I mean, from the second we've started, it's been stuffing holes and.
I need to finish this.
Okay,
Hold on.
so
I'm just gonna drain this cup of whiskey right now.
So straddling the dog has epically failed for me, apparently.
You can spend some time like it doesn't really, like, it doesn't try and shake you off or anything, like it doesn't care that much, but your feet are touching the ground, like it's
Ineffectual.
yeah. I mean, it's not the easiest thing to balance on.
Well, remember, unlike a horse, whose rib cage is very round shaped, dogs are very
very
kind
narrow,
of
yeah.
oval shaped, and it's like,
Not very good for balancing.
not very comfortable. No.
So you have dogs in tow. What do you actually want to do with them?
Do we if Xantor was here instead of peeing on a bush somewhere, we
If
could
only.
ask him if he had saved one of those kids' clothing from the goblin smush, which would probably smell like poison and not like the goblin. Do we have anything goblin smelling?
On you? No, not really.
If we rack our brains really hard, can we remember somewhere close that has something goblin smelling?
Well, the house itself is not that far away.
Okay. Well, maybe
And
we could go back to the
as-
stuffed hole.
And as effectual as the sheriff seems to be at his job, I'm willing to bet it'll be unboarded up for the next 3 weeks. So
Onward to 12.
So you guys want to go back to the house?
was 12 the house that I didn't think that
No.
was the house we were at. We were
12
just
i-
back down Baker Street, right?
12 is the is Save His Armory. It's a shop.
Okay,
Oh,
we
it's all
were
like
at the corner of
highlighted. So
Yeah,
I'm
I
a
did that
child.
just so
Yeah.
because I figured that would be because I labeled it earlier because the sheriff said something about picking up equipment there. But yeah, no, the house is right here.
Hey,
Right
Xantor,
there, yeah,
since you're
okay.
back from bush peeing, do you have any goblin children clothes on you? Did you save any?
I feel like I may incriminate myself, so I plead the fifth.
We need them for the puppies.
Not that we're gonna make them wear them.
They're our new mascots.
Oh. Maybe when I picked up a bunch of it to put it in the pile, some of the scent would still be on my hands.
Probably. Plus the dog, probably covered with goblin slobber and whatnot else.
Yeah. So, and sorry about the emergency, but
We don't need to know what you do in your
they
spare
don't
time.
need leashes. They'll follow and they'll do what you need them to.
Well,
I've-
they have leashes, so
Talk to them.
Well, we're just
don't.
trying to get them to smell goblin smell so we can walk up
They
and
don't
down
like-
the street.
Yeah.
They don't-
I'm gonna hold my hands to their noses and see if they can, and I'm gonna
okay.
whisper and tell them
Well-
find not me in my hands. Because I don't want them to find me, just smell me and find me.
It'd be a
We
very
did
quick
good.
turn.
We get treat.
Exactly.
Do me a favor and roll an animal handling check. What do we got? 17. So you kind of put your hands out, and the dogs kind of like lean in. And then they just kind of start walking. I mean, are you kind of trying to push them in a certain direction? Or are you just gonna go where they tell you to go?
I'm gonna go where they tell me to go.
Okay. Give me 1 second.
Yep.
Okay. So the you guys kind of round the corner like this way, and the dogs are just, they're not like running or anything. You get the sense that these are probably not like trained bloodhounds or anything, but they are kind of they're kind of walking, and as they go down the street, they actually take a turn. Like as you pass the house, which by the way, at this point the crowd that was gathered around it has mostly dispersed. You see,
You're
there's
starting to break up.
I am.
Yep.
Oh shit! I don't know how I can fix that. Are we all right? Are we good? Or is it still doing that?
That's even worse.
Worse. Holy shit! Give me a second. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. Are we still breaking up?
Now I can see your lips move, but I can't hear anything.
Okay. Okay, give me a second.
That's faint, but there.
Does putting my mic near me do better?
From that, I heard. But
Oh shit! I don't know what's going on.
Damn it.
I don't know what's going on. Give me 1 second.
Robot penis.
Thank you for that.
See, it fixed it.
That sounds good.
That
I mean
fixed it.
the audio, not
Okay.
the robot penis.
Okay.
That makes sense.
I didn't do anything. I was in the process of doing something, but I didn't. So we'll see. Jarvel says I can hear him fine. That means it was probably the Skype call, not the actual, like, not a mic issue or anything. Anyway, if you guys can hear me now, fine. So the dog sort of takes. You see, the house, by the way, has like one guard that's just sort of standing in front of the door. Like the door is closed and he's just kind of standing there, at attention. Well, not really. I mean, the closest.
I
thing
can't
to
make
it-
out what he's saying.
Neither can I.
Okay.
We're
I
doing
heard
fine until
guards
you moved your
standing
mic
at the
away.
door.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard that. And then
Yeah,
I heard that and started getting angry again. Go ahead.
Yeah, it sounds like it may be a Skype issue. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Let me check my options here in Skype.
No, that's perfect. That's perfect. Can hear you perfectly.
Okay, well then I will have to keep.
So apparently, as long as we can't see your face, we can hear you.
Yes. This is I'm gonna talk like this from now on with a mic. No, it's okay. So we'll do it like this. So the there's like a guard station out front. The people seem to have dispersed, and the dogs are leading you past the house.
Okay.
I lost them again.
You said that there's a guard station out front. The civilians seem to have dispersed, and the dogs are leading us past the house.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know if this keeps up. I may need someone else to host the Skype call. I don't know what what Skype is doing right now, because it's
I can do the Skype call if you want.
Okay. Here, if you want, I'll just drop it and then just throw
I'll
it
drop
right back
and call
up.
everyone back.
Yeah. Sorry guys, we having technical issues. It's just because it probably is because of this Blue Yeti.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
All right.
Let's wait for it to work. All right.
Go Hurricane Skype. Oh, you're not in Florida anymore.
No, I'm not in Florida.
You trust Adam? No, I don't. But I don't have any other options.
That is very rude. I'm only role playing a character.
No one believes that.
My friend. My friend Adam.
Not
That's
only
Next time I'm gonna play asshole paladin. I'm gonna teach you guys. You guys don't know anything.
Oh man. So as the dogs are kind of leading you down this, they're actually kind of pulling you down the street, sniffing and stuff, and you guys can see that you're kind of coming to an intersection, and there's the street goes either way. When you guys actually get to the intersection, the dogs start pulling. Who's holding them, by the way? There are leashes. Who's holding them?
I let them go when Xantor said leash.
I'm holding them.
Okay.
I'm holding the leash.
Xantor, they will kind of start pulling you north up the street.
Okay. They're pulling us north, guys.
See that?
Yay! We're gonna follow.
Okay. As Xantor and kind of and Balin and the dogs and Lycon close behind start making their way up the street. Kismet, you're kind of a little bit you're kind of like a little bit behind them, and as you're turning around the street, you hear kind of a shouting coming from your immediate left.
Okay. Shouting?
Yeah, sounds like.
Can we make out what it says?
Yeah. So as you're kind of taken by surprise by this shouting. By the way, I don't know why music's on. Gonna start in a second. It's like you see there's this guy, a man who you've actually seen before. You recognize his face, and he's kind of looking up at a sign that is on the wall, and you realize you're standing in front of the Sandpoint Theater. It's pretty obvious. There's a big sign that says like the production that's being put on. And the man that you're looking at, you actually saw him speak at the festival, and he's kind of like throwing his hands up in the air, pacing around. He says, "Oh, what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? Oh my!" And he kind of yells into the wind. He says, "And she took the costume." And as he kind of runs his hands through his hair and is kind of turning in frustration, he kind of actually like his eyes open as he sees you guys passing by, and then he says, "You!"
Wait, who, me?
Yeah, yes, you. Of course, come here.
Yeah, you. Couldn't be. Then who?
Okay. coming.
So you walk up to this man again. You saw him speak at the festival. He's got a bright purple jacket on with kind of like gold brocading and embroidery.
Ew.
He's he's got a well trimmed goatee and kind of like slicked back hair, and very very bright blue eyes. He says, "Of course you." I don't even know. I didn't think about it. You are perfect. Look at you. You've got the right look. You've got the right hair. And I think you do fine in that costume. Yes,
How
of
can
course,
I
it's
help?
done. What? I think it'll work perfectly.
Ash is about to be in a play.
He says,
Could we?
The female version of Equus.
he says, he kind of leans in. He says, "My dear, you're one of those people everyone's talking about. The heroes of Sandpoint, aren't you?"
No, we're walking dogs.
It's a new venture we've started.
He says, "Oh, I'm sure, humble to boot. I have a bit of a proposition because you are, if I may say, my lady, you are perfect for what we require right now. You see, we've hit a bit of a snag. We were supposed to be putting.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Oh yes, dreadful creatures. We were supposed to be putting on a play, hired a famous actress and everything, a diva from Magnamar. She cost a small fortune, but you see, when all of this nonsense with the festival and the around town started happening,
Goblin.
it seems she must have, she decided that she did not want to be here, and she left for her home in Magnamar, so we are left without a leading role in our play. I was until I saw your radiance walking up the street.
It's a damn shame. I was going to ask if she could play a sheriff. Sorry, go ahead. And
Perhaps after we are finished clearing your town of hidden goblins, maybe that would be a better time in
I
which
don't
to
think so.
produce
I
a
think-
play.
I think we could stop and watch this. I think we have more than enough time. The dogs, they agree. I think Balin agrees as well. We could
Yeah,
definitely
look
stop
at his agreeing face.
and
on
watch.
every face, really.
And I know Lycon's on this for sure, so we can definitely sit down and watch Kismet perform. Go ahead.
He says,
Oh, good. It seems that we now have time because goblins are on their lunch break. I would love to help you produce your play.
"Oh, I promise you, you only have. In truth, the leading role, well, it's Avicera, the Harpy Queen. You don't have to do much. There's a script, there's a few lines, but mostly you just have to wear the costume and stand there and look imposing. We can coach you through all of it. Your friends seem to support this. Please, you'd be doing us a great favor. We don't have time to get another actress, you see."
Do you imagine you're going to have a large turnout for this play in the middle of your goblin raid?
Well, if I am able to tell the town that one of the heroes of Sandpoint herself is playing the leading role, I expect we could fill every seat.
Oh, good. That's good. We're all good then. All right, play it is.
He kind of he says, "Oh, wonderful!" and he leans in and kind of like wraps his arms around you in a very close hug.
I hope I don't still smell like goblin.
I kind of hope you do.
Yeah, you kind of see him like you see him like it's fine. Come on. And he kind of as he's sort of pushing you towards the doorway. He says, don't mind us. You feel free to go about your business. If all things are correct, we should be able to have our first showing tonight. Right on schedule. Please do tell everyone in town that you'll be at. I trust you'll be in attendance.
Yes, I yes.
No, he's talking
I'm-
to the other two, or the other three.
We've got our dog walking business to complete, so we should get back. We should get back on that. What do you think, Balin?
Balin is stepping right along with the two of them, as if he's going along.
with the dogs.
No. No. Like he's coming in to watch the preparation of the play.
He's going with you.
More like he's not letting you out of his sight with somebody he doesn't know, but it's difficult to tell with his expression.
So am I going into the play now, or is it something that I just agree to?
Sidetrack is like he seems to be under the impression
Sidetrack? That's a trustworthy name.
He was the guy who did comedy at the festival, Sidetrack Drokus.
Sidetrack Tropus.
That's
sidetrack.
Clever shit, man.
Oh,
Sidetrack.
of course.
Except Sidetrack and his brother's side quest.
And their cousin, unnecessary exposition.
I didn't name him.
I know.
I didn't write this as James Jacobs did 12 years ago.
Clever bastard.
So he's kind of ushering Kismet into the building. Like she's kind of being pushed in. You're welcome to follow her. Again,
I am.
You're familiar with this. You've seen this guy before. He was at the festival. He was one of the people that spoke on stage.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Xantor, I guess you and Lyca.
Harpy, by the way.
What's up?
Did he just call me a harpy?
No.
Oh, you're so perfect.
He
you
did.
look just like it. Oh, it's a harpy.
Well, there's an actress that's playing the role. He said you look just like her.
If Balin thinks that we should follow, I'm gonna just follow Balin. I'm gonna tap the dogs along to kind of follow behind Balin, and we're all going inside the.
He'll kind of say, we don't allow animals and pets into the theater.
We do now.
No, I'm afraid we can't. We don't.
Balin, do you want to handle this?
They're
I'm
very
just
well
about to.
behaved.
I'm just about to.
Okay.
So I'll turn and look at Kismet and say, and now you see how rich the currency of the heroes of Sandpoint is.
Ooh, smack has been layeth down. I don't believe I'll be able to help you unless we keep the puppies. We told a resident that we would help find his son, his dead son.
We're kind of an acting troupe. We're kind of all or nothing.
Roll me a persuasion check.
Which one?
Harvey Xantor,
Kismet.
he's the one that just bullshitted. Or Kismet, that's fine.
No, Kismet, roll me a persuasion check.
Okay, good.
That's much better.
He
That wasn't at all what I thought.
he kind of raises his hand like he's about to say something. He says, "All right, I suppose for now, but you can't have them during the production. They'll make noise. I can't have them here during a production. I guess they can stay for now. Please, I need to get you into wardrobe. We need to get a script in your hands right away."
You need me to look like more of a harpy?
I hand the leash to Kismet. I hand her one of the leashes. Take him with you. And I look at Balin and I kind of nod, hoping that he understands what I'm saying.
You got me, brah.
So okay. So Kismet, you kind of you're sort of ushered in, unless you make any sort of physical protestations to not sort of go with, not, you know, be pushed along. You're gonna kind of get dragged into the you know, the dressing room and sort of set up.
So I've got a dog with me, and are they coming with me as I'm?
No, they're not. It's just Sidrak.
Did she take the dog with her? One of the dogs?
Yes.
I mean, what's the docile puppy son gonna do?
You might be surprised.
Alex, yeah, you might be very useful. He might be very useful if you're paying attention.
Creepy dude dragging me into creepy places. Here, get naked. Okay, I'm gonna go with him. 'Cause I'm curious.
Don't phrase it like that.
When you put it like that, it makes it seem like that's not how normal D&D goes.
Well, it's more so the logic. Creepy dude drags me places, tells me to get naked. I'm gonna go ahead and do that. That makes sense.
Well, as long as he doesn't go, oh yes, bring the dog, then we get really worried.
Oh yeah, if he was just like, yeah, you know, yeah.
So moving on before that gets out of hand.
Okay, so what the two of you are the two of you just gonna sort of stay in the theater while she's sort of rehearsing for the?
I'm moving forward down by the lamps by the front of the stage, but I'm not going up on the stage.
No, I'm just asking because I'm just asking if because she's gonna basically be pushed, given a script, and sort of be like start getting, you know, have them start prepping her for the show. Like, are you guys just gonna stick around and for the whole time?
I'm leading the dog to keep sniffing around the area.
Okay. So we'll say that the next, oh man, pretty much the rest of the, it's almost the entire day, because the production is happening in the evening, and they sort of Kismet, over the next couple hours, they sort of force a script into your hands, and they start sort of reciting lines with you. Sidrak is he's kind of shouty a little bit, trying to get you to say them properly. So, okay.
Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Thou art more lovely and more temperate.
It's not remotely that high level of poetry. The script that you are actually playing. No, you're playing the role of
vaudeville up in here.
Yeah, you're playing the role of Avicera, the Harpy Queen. And so eventually, hours go by of this, and eventually in the evening, someone must have been shouting about this show that's going on, because people start filing into the theater while you guys are backstage. And as we as the kind of the big event rolls around, why don't you tell us how it goes for you?
Yes, please do.
Do I have a lot of lines, or is it just little gruntlings?
Not a ton. It's mostly real easy stuff.
I'm assuming it went shittily, if it's anything like.
You tell me. You tell me how Kismet acts and how she handles the situation.
How about this? She gets out there, she's awful, but everybody still loves her because goblins are dead. Yay!
So do when you kind of get out on stage. Oh man, I should totally have. Give me 1 second.
Oh, I would trip.
Yeah, definitely. Hold on, I'm looking for a.
But in the process, you scream, ah! And everybody's like, "Oh, that was good. That was good. That was very harpy-like."
She's so realistic. Look at that pointed nose.
Give me a second. I'm looking for. There we go. All right, so people are watching. The show is on, and let's put some laughing in there. And as you kind of go up on stage, you like you're just kind of standing there very awkwardly, like reading your, you kind of recite your lines as best you can, but you flub them a little bit. You're trying to do this sort of intimidating part, like villainous part, but it's not remotely you at all. And then like after you there's this one kind of really dramatic line that you're supposed to sort of you're supposed to deliver. Like there's this whole scene that happens, and like the tension is swelling up, and the whole thing is like you're supposed to deliver this dramatic line right at the climax of this scene, and you do, but you kind of, rather than being like a really sort of like a gravitas filled villainous, you kind of just squeak a little bit. Like, it comes out like really, really like, hello, and everyone in the theater is kind of like eyes front, and then you deliver this line, and they're all just silent, and you're just kind of looking out of this audience that is just like they're just not saying anything, and then very, very slowly away. In the back, someone starts clapping.
Slow clapper.
Which I guess eventually picks up, and people in the town are like, yeah, okay, yeah, and they eventually give you a little bit of applause, but you even still, like, you kind of walk off stage feeling like, well, I don't know, how do you feel? Like, really good about? I'm assuming in your mind you did pretty well.
Oh yeah, I'm the shiz.
I was just about to say, it's too bad there's not a delusion roll. So it's like, first you roll for performance, and then roll for delusion. So
how well you did, how well you think you did.
You thought you did. Exactly.
Delusion with a side of grandeur.
All right, so why don't you tell us what I'm assuming your friends are just kind of like waiting after, like, as you're kind of walking off stage, a little bit of applause, like mixed reviews.
Why in the seven hells did you guys let me do that?
For one, there are 9, but
Goblins?
See, now you're so eager for goblins because it seems like a better day than that. So, where do you go from the bottom but up, as they say? Shall we?
Goblins.
As you guys are kind of collecting, and like again, the show has, like, it's taken its curtain. The actor, you guys came out and you gave your bow, and there was applause and stuff, and you kind of made your way out of the theater. To the kind of praise and patting on the back and stuff of quite a few townsfolk as you made your way out. As you eventually you kind of make your way out into the street, and you see a kind of a beaming Ameko is just sort of standing there, like, looking at you guys.
Hi.
She says, well, they told me that was going to be one that I shouldn't miss. I guess they were right. I'm not usually one for the theater, but I may have to change my mind on that.
How can we help?
She says, help? What? Oh, no, I just came to invite you back for a drink. I think most of the theater crowd is going to be visiting the tavern for the review. Is that what they call it?
I'm shaking my head. And I'm holding up the leashes. Just
goblins.
She kind of looks. She says, "Are those Corvus dogs?"
They are.
Right. And why do you have them?
Goblin.
Personal business for the constable.
Uh-huh. Okay, well, Well, don't let me keep you, I suppose. But, well, let me know how it goes when you guys are done.
Thank you for the offer.
I felt like I should let you know, by the way, Amel, her sister is coming in from Magnamar. She's going to take the family with her.
Oh, that's the one whose husband got his face eaten off. We buried the dog in the front yard.
Yes, that
And then
would be him.
we damaged all his clothes with the poison. Yeah.
Yeah.
Make sure he buys new clothes for the little boy.
That would be the one. She's should be about 2 days. Well, a day or so, a day and a half before her sister gets here.
Were you aware of the fact that the sheriff was planning to leave to go to Magnamar?
He doesn't usually tell me about his plans. I'm not.
That wasn't my question.
No, I don't keep up with what he plans to do. Why?
He is. Leaving, I mean, to go to Magnamar. Tomorrow.
How often is the sheriff not here in town?
Well, if he's leaving from Magnamar, it'll be the first time in as long as I can remember.
So...
Do you know what he's supposed to be doing there?
He's supposed to be asking for more soldiers to try to keep the town safe.
Makes sense.
Does it really?
Does it really? No. Your town is under attack, so you leave to go get more soldiers versus sending like a letter or like.
We just participated in a play.
She kind of shakes her head. She says, "You've never been to Magnamar, have you?"
Is it like better for fighting goblins?
Goblins would never make it through the walls.
No. Magnamar is a merchant town. Its government and its government is a bureaucracy. It's many layers of many things, cutting through. If he manages to requisition troops and get them in any sort of short time frame, will mean he's cut through a lot of red tape. If he's going, I assume it means he has something to leverage, because, well, otherwise it could take weeks.
Let me ask you another question. How long has he been the constable?
The sheriff? He took over about 5 years ago after the Averton.
Maybe a sheriff.
The Sheriff Averton was killed.
How was that sheriff killed?
He died saving the town from the chopper.
Oh yeah.
The chopper attack, right. What was this sheriff beforehand? What was he doing?
Sheriff Hemlock was a town guard. He and his brother owns the White Deer. It's over by the North Gate. They had just moved to town a few years earlier. He got a job in the guard. His brother decided to open a tavern. I guess they were both pretty adamant about escaping their Shawanti roots. And he took over when Casp died.
Goblins?
Okay, thank you. We'll join you later for drinks. Or she will, and we'll follow along and partake.
She nods. She says, "Well, I hope you find what you're looking for. Please come tell me about it either way."
I rather hope.
I rather hope we don't. No.
I think we should just give you a random table to roll on.
Something. Oh
That
god.
would be so awesome.
Roll percentile. Namibian. Oh god. Martian.
Oh wow.
I rather hope we don't find what we're looking for. As she said, goblins. Which is why we have these dogs. We're hoping to use them to track down any that may be hidden in other children's closets or anywhere else.
Since everybody was at a play all freaking day and there was plenty of chance for goblins to hide.
You know, amigo, that gorgeous son of a bitch who sits in your bar all day. A really handsome one with the Van Dyke and who seems incapable of defending himself.
Sandro?
That would be the one. Is that his name? I really need. Never mind that part. So, do you think? Is it possible that he could maybe learn to fight without a weapon? Are you capable of fighting without a weapon?
I can defend myself if I need to, but I haven't really gotten into a scrap in years.
Do you think it's possible that he would know how to fight without a weapon? Never mind. Just, if you go back, when you go back, if he's still there, let him know at some point I'm going to come to find him. And when I do, he and I are going to have a nice long talk that is going to end with the sun coming up and me teaching him how to fight hand to hand. All right, just let him know that that's coming.
She nods. She says, just a little thing. Be careful when you're talking to Sandru about weapons and about hurting people. He doesn't really carry them all that often. I feel like it's you may know this. You may need to know this. His family, or the people he comes from, he is trying very much not to become one of them.
Who does he come from?
His brother Jubrail is actually a local. Both descended from a line of Verisians in Magnamar. Jubrail is rumored to have Cesarni ties. Sandru is desperate, in some ways, to not fall down that path. He, in his eyes, he believes that it's a constant threat.
I'm gonna whisper to Balin. Are you wanting to teach him how to fight hand to hand, or are you wanting to wrestle?
6 of one, half a dozen of the other.
She kind of like raises an eyebrow at you, and then she says, "It's I know he has in the past, but I don't think he's been much for fighting since he left Riddleport. He's
from Riddleport.
Oh yes.
Oh God.
Mm-hmm. What does that mean?
That's where I come from. We should go look for goblins now.
Goblins. Is Xantor? Did Xantor fall asleep? No. He's just resting his eyes. Okay.
All right. So you guys, Ameka will just kind of nod and let you go on your way. Where exactly do you want to go? You have these dogs in tow. It is pretty late at night, or late in the evening. I mean,
It's actually better. It's actually better that it's late because the goblins would be active,
and people will be home, and we will hear screaming.
So what is your plan? What do you guys want to do?
Onward with the puppies, or?
Yes, I understand that. Where onward?
They were leading.
Oh, you just want to let them lead you? Let them continue to lead you? Yeah, they weren't leading you too energetically. So we'll say that actually, whoever's handling, can someone roll me another animal handling? just to kind of see what's going on with them. Okay. So you kind of push the dogs, and after a little while, they just kind of start walking down the street. Give me 1 second. I just gotta check something.
These dogs don't even know that they're supposed to be hunting. They just think they're out for a walk.
Yeah, really nice long walk. Pretty soon they're gonna take a dump. We're gonna need one of those bags
They
of
got to
holding
see a
dog
play.
poo.
Bags of infinite holding.
Yeah.
Yuck.
Okay. So we'll say they kind of lead you through the town, through the streets for a little while, without really kind of like. There's not a whole lot that goes on, but eventually, you guys come to. You guys find yourself, here, right over here.
On Bent Street.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
You guys have gotten bent. That's
Just the one time.
so the dogs kind of lead you down this street, and they kind of stop, like they're actually leading you in this direction, like around the town hall. And then when they come to this corner, they just kind of stop.
Is there a house that they stopped in
Not
front
really.
of, or did they just say, screw you, we're done?
They're just kind of in the middle of the street, like looking up at you guys.
Can I roll a perception check to see if I see anything like broken
Eat me,
into,
bitches.
or anything broken into, or like what may look like a small hole dug or anything like that, or
Sure.
a window broken?
Roll me a perception check.
Perception.
Under your skills, right next to your
Perception.
voice.
All
I
right.
see the time 4 times.
So, what you can see is there's not like you're looking around. The houses themselves don't have any obvious signs of anything disturbed, anything broken, and I mean anything broken in a way that would kind of imply more than just normal wear and tear. However, as you're kind of looking at the ground, like once your eyes go down to the ground, you notice there are kind of some scuffs in the dirt, which don't really catch your attention until you notice that like this alley doesn't seem like it's particularly well traveled, though obviously the main street that it runs across is. So it looks like basically right where the alley kind of meets the street, there's some kind of disturbance in the dirt that looks like it doesn't look like normal, like animal footprints. It doesn't look like anything that you're kind of familiar with. And as you as you kind of follow, it looks like on both, like on concentrated in this area and a little bit in this area, there seem to be these kind of disturbances which you're not entirely sure, because you don't have anything to compare them. You don't have like a goblin's foot with you to compare them, but they don't look like shoe prints, they don't look like horse prints, and they don't look like dog prints, so they could easily be goblin feet.
I put my hand up to my mouth to get, and I make sure that both Balin and Kismet and Lycon, who's been awfully quiet this time, see me. And then once I see that they're looking at me, I point down on the ground at the two what appear to be like out of place objects so that they see them.
Mm-hmm.
Are they
And then I point to my weapon.
Are like the scuffly, creepy lurker marks in front of windows or doors?
No, they're just in the dirt.
Okay.
So,
can
having
we-
had... Yeah, what?
No, go for it.
No, I think you were about to ask the same thing I was about to ask. Go ahead.
Can we perceive if there any directionality of these happy little scuff marks?
Exactly what I was about to say. I was going to say, having had them point out to us, can we now take a look and see what we can glean?
Yeah, you're welcome to.
Okay.
Gleam, gleam, gleam.
Yeah, go for it.
We're perceiving.
I figured that might happen. Oh no!
You guys,
There's dirt.
You guys are
dirt.
pretty aware. You're aware of what he kind of pointed out, but I mean, there's nothing obvious that you can see otherwise. Like, it looks like the only thing you two together can make out is that it seems like there was quite a bit of traffic, and there was also Krun the Barbarian, who is. Thank you for following and welcome to the madness, my friend. What's up, Adam?
Out of character note, we have one more perception check. If you would please roll for us, Mr. DM.
Oh, right.
Dwarf.
The dwarf.
I forgot about him.
Oh, nice.
He's gonna roll a 1 and he's gonna realize that he has feet.
No, he will kind of help fill in the detail in that. From what you can gather, it wasn't like 1 or 2 feet that made this. It was clearly a bunch. So that there is kind of heavy. There is kind of more heavy traffic than you originally expected. And the only thing that you guys can really glean is that it was probably headed in this direction.
Oh, direction good.
So we can't tell if these marks are on top of the heavy traffic marks in the main street. Like,
oh no,
this traffic was after.
It looks like they may have crossed the street and the traffic of the street kind of dispersed them. So you only get like the edges.
Okay. Okay. Hello,
Okay,
Netherwoman.
So, I'm kind of like whispering, and I'm gonna say, it looks like they're near here, and can I try to, I want to pull the 2 dogs near the leash and get them to smell
Okay.
the like indentations to kind of see if they'll get like a scent.
Give me an animal handling check with advantage.
Animal handling check with advantage.
Yeah. So just roll twice, take your higher.
Roll it twice.
Yeah,
No,
it automatically does.
Oh.
So take the higher of the 2 numbers. All right. So as the dogs kind of start sniffing, like their ears kind of perk up, and there is clearly a scent for them to follow. And as they kind of like are pulling the leashes down towards the alleyway, like this one.
Are we gonna follow?
I'm, unstrapping my hammer.
Okay.
Shit's about to get
So
real.
So are you guys gonna make your way down the alleyway?
I am.
Okay. Yeah, just checking. So as you cross the alleyway, you kind of come out into the like you're coming up to the street, sort of the small dirt path that intersects it on the other side. You're looking directly at a sort of building that its architecture is kind of different than all of the other buildings in Sandpoint. In fact, its architecture in a lot of ways is like one that Kismet would instantly recognize.
Because it's from the one place where I'm from.
Because, well, it's this place is kind of like you see similar designs in the pillars, like there's similar kind of mosaic tiling around them. It's like almost instantly, just from the decoration and stuff, this looks like a lot like the monastery that you grew up in.
Okay.
It would be the Windsong Abbey.
Yeah. Oh my
Yes,
Stone Cry. Right. Okay. Roll to see if I'm getting laid.
With the monastery.
With the
The
goblins?
What?
whole monastery.
I don't know who you're trying to seduce here.
With the goblins? What game are we playing now? I don't.
It's not the kind of being eaten that you want to have done. Just saying.
Hey, look pretty.
Okay.
So yeah, no. So that's the first building that you guys are facing when you come out of this alley, but there's no sign of anything around you. Like there's no sign of life. No, nothing moving. There's no, like, the dogs are just kind of like sniffing around in kind of random directions. They're kind of trying to pick up a trail, but it seems like it goes in. From what you can gather, Xantor, because you're pretty good with animals, it seems like the dogs are trying to pinpoint a trail, but it goes in too many directions for them to really pick up one.
Okay. It looks like I think, guys, there's multiple goblins here, and they split up. The dogs don't really quite know where to go.
Where does this building that I recognize is? What is it? Can we tell what it is?
This one right here.
The
It's number 19.
Yeah,
That's the one that you guys.
In the 19. The 19.
19. Do we recognize it as anything other than just a building with?
We
don't.
You do.
No, you guys have never, like, you guys are all pretty new to Sandpoint, so you don't know anything about this building. But obviously Kismet, I mean, like I said, the architecture is very similar.
Okay.
From what you can gather, this what your character would assume is probably this may be like maybe like a private, like a small monastery, or like a splinter, like that maybe one person came here and made to continue the tradition, things like that. That's your best guess.
Okay. How late is it?
Probably at 10. Yeah,
Would they be asleep?
most likely.
Okay.
But if they're monks, they're used to being awakened in the middle of the night with people going, "Do you have any goblins here?"
Can we borrow a cup of sugar? And by the way, any foul smells?
Other than Brother Putridus.
Let's go knock and bug them, because I don't have any other ideas. Do you guys? Xantor's like raising his hand.
Yeah, I was muted. I don't think we should knock. We lose the element of surprise if there is anything here.
Like another goblin named Monkbiter.
We'll just sneak into the monk place. Wait, there's a name for that.
Monastery?
There we go.
So this building, and by the way, the dogs aren't like pulling you to the doors of the building. Like, I just, like, you guys see this building because it's the first thing you see when you exit the alley. But the dogs are kind of pulling you a little bit to the north, a little bit to the south. Like, they're pulling you in different directions. They can't really, but they're not going up to this building.
Oh, okay. They're not in this building, by the way. The dogs are pulling us to the north and to the south. They're not really pulling us up to this building, though.
Xantor, can you do me a favor and roll me an intelligence check, please?
You mean wisdom? Because wisdom's my modifier?
I don't think that's what he means.
No, I don't think that's what I mean.
Damn it.
I would expect you to know what you mean. No problem.
Not bad. Yeah. So again, you this is really your first time sort of dealing with big dogs and sort of scent tracking animals like this. But you have been hunting before. Your tribe is, was pretty prolific at hunting. Is that cake?
It's ice cream cake from my birthday party yesterday.
Happy belated birthday.
I was going to say, yesterday was your birthday and you didn't bother to get us anything? Thanks.
Yeah, really.
Technically, it was Friday. I just had like 2 days worth
Where's
of
my
party.
cake? You didn't bring enough for the whole class?
I just licked it, but I mean, you can like eat around the lick.
Hey, some people, they're into that kind of thing.
I will finish this beer in your honor.
Yay!
So
I will. Go on.
No. So Xantor, you again, your tribe that of Shawanti, like, they're proficient hunters out on the plains and stuff. So you've been in this before. From what you can gather, it looks like, just the way the dogs are acting, you assume there probably isn't any there may not be any goblins here now. They may have been here previously. But it looks like there was probably a bunch of them somewhere in this spot that all kind of scattered into the town in different directions.
So it looks like they were gathered here, guys. And then they spread out. Which means that this would be the origin point for the goblins. If they started here and they all spread out, past where we were. They went to the north, they went to the south, attacked the town during the event. So maybe we should investigate.
But where would they have came up from? Or came from? They didn't just like spawn in the middle and...
I mean, you guys can hear the water lapping from the beach. That's not very... Like, it's just down a short kind of cliff jaunt from where you are. It doesn't look like... There's no sewer exits or anything around here that you can see.
Unless they came from inside the building and went out. Like, what if there's like a cave system inside the building? That they like came on their little goblin boats.
Goblin sailors.
What if they were brought here?
Yeah, do goblins sail?
No, but humans do. So I'm saying, what if they were brought here for a purpose? Does anybody want to go investigate the monastery?
Yeah, let's go look in the building. It's cozy and home-like.
Balin?
I'm inclined to follow the lead for the dogs, but
So you want to spread out and look?
no,
or
we
find
pick
goblins.
one direction that one of the dogs is indicating, and then we go that way. I'm not saying we split up and
Yeah,
go
the dogs are mostly going around in circles in this area right now.
Or if they're not leading us to this particular building, I don't see any reason that we should bother anyone.
No, but they pointed that they like clumped here and they started here, so it's origin point, and then they spread
Are there
out.
any closer buildings nearby other than that one that they could have maybe spawned out of?
There's a whole bunch of buildings around you guys.
But how long ago did they cluster here?
No way, you don't really have any way of telling that.
I wasn't asking you.
Oh. Thank you.
Ultimately, that question would have come to you, but so we just cut out the middleman of asking the druid and went straight to God. Okay.
Yeah. Would I be able to? Would I have to
what?
roll something? Could I like discern something to tell how fresh the tracks are?
Honestly, like, it's, especially because it's dark out, it's real hard to even find any tracks here, especially now that the dogs are kind of walking around in circles and you guys are kind of trying to follow them. Like, there's no tracks to follow. It looks, the only thing you can guess, the only real information that you guys can glean from this particular place right now is that it looks like there were goblins here at one point and they went off in different directions. Anything else? I mean, you're welcome to investigate whatever you'd like, but how long ago that was, and, you know, how many there were, things like that, probably lost at this point.
So I hear where you're thinking, Balin, about finding the actual goblins, but I'm thinking there was a reason that or not all, but a large amount of goblins congregated here. So maybe we figure that out?
How about we pick a direction and walk and see if they can pick up the trail again?
I think you guys are missing the point of what I'm trying to say.
I'm
Probably.
not. I do understand what you're saying. I'm fine with that.
So
Rock,
what's your
paper,
plan,
scissors?
guys? It's getting later at night.
And I have cake.
What is that? Oh, I'll let Kismet make the call. Do you want to go north and like just find more goblins? Ash, I'm asking you.
I was thinking.
Oh,
I didn't acknowledge you, so you had no way of knowing that I was thinking.
She's just still staring at the building going, pretty.
I didn't like shiny home things. That was called to my attention for some unknown reason. Let's maybe continue walking to the beach. That's that way. That's west, right?
Yeah, you can pass between these two buildings and go down to the beach if you'd like.
And just see if they pick up anything along that way, since we are close to the water.
Sure.
I mean, at least we could maybe pick up an origin.
Yeah, it'll take you a little while to get there, but once you do, you kind of lead the dogs down to the beach and kind of lead them around here as they kind of sniff along the sand looking to see if they pick up a trail, but after maybe 30 minutes of just trying to find any information here, the dogs don't seem to kind of perk up or get excited or anything like that.
Well, shit. Yeah,
you are
so let's
so
go back to
desperate
the
to eat that thing, aren't you?
it's like melty, so I'm just.
Yes, she is.
Just go ahead and eat it.
I call it. Yeah, that makes good radio. Well, yeah, let's. I want to go check out the building. I want to see the pretties and scare the monks and get our asses kicked.
So I guess we're gonna go back to the building. And do you want to knock?
No, you said not to knock, so let's just like all ninja Batman through the windows.
Just burst in.
There
Surprise!
really aren't any glass windows here. There are you're actually again pretty familiar with this architecture. There are kind of tall, thin, sort of like like open, like I don't want to say arrow slits, but yeah, but that's like there's a lot of them around the sides.
So, it
So we're
looks like
not
knocking.
ninjaing in, is what you're saying?
I don't know. I mean, that's,
Unless you're gonna Terry Crews through the wall, yeah.
Yeah, you could. There are. I mean, there are two.
Right.
There are two very big blue doors that are like closed, like the large kind of carven doors.
Roll to see if I can open them.
Or just open them.
Do they open?
I roll to see if I can walk.
So you make your way up to these doors and you kind of grip the big metal handles and kind of try and push, and they just like they're locked.
For a moment there, I thought you were gonna all right, fine, it's gonna be like that. Break in.
Me and my 60 pounds of elf flesh.
That's right.
You've got magic though. Like, I would not be opposed to you using it.
How to make friends 101. Break down their doors with frost beams at 10 o'clock at night.
It's probably closer to
11 now.
11:30 right now.
Yeah.
We did go to the beach for 30
sleepy
minutes.
o'clock.
You know those vines that people sometimes tweet out about the little husky puppies who are they've given up on walking and they're just being dragged on a leash while they're laying on their side. I imagine these mastiffs are getting close to that, and it's just going to be us trying to pull this fucking horse worth of dog.
We haven't fed them at all.
No.
No, I've been feeding them.
I know.
I've been feeding them scraps out of my pockets. I'm taking care of the dogs.
Scraps.
What?
Why do you have pocket scraps?
I live in the woods and I haven't eaten, and this is the first time I've been in a city that's had food like regularly that I didn't have to hunt. You have any idea what's in my pockets?
I'm trying not to
Thank
think about
God, no.
Okay.
We've been walking past all these houses, and he keeps like taking the pies off the window. So, whoop, pocket scraps.
it.
The dogs are fed. Don't worry.
Okay.
And they're
Oh.
walked too.
And they're what?
Walked.
Hell yeah.
So, do we knock or do we let ourselves in?
Well, I mean, either way, that's gonna wake up everybody. So we might as well knock and be staunchly ignored because everybody's like, "F off, I'm asleep."
It's up to you.
So we knock.
Just let me know. What are you guys doing?
Knock, knock.
All right. So you kind of pound your hand on this door, just, and it's just kind of silent in the streets for a while, and a minute goes by, and then another minute goes by, and you guys are kind of standing there like awkwardly, like waiting for something to happen. And after a little while, probably assuming like maybe there's no one here, maybe they're just not gonna open the door, you guys are almost about to sort of turn to leave when you hear just a and then as the two doors just sort of pull inwards, and very, very slowly. They don't open all the way, but just enough that you can sort of make out that standing them is a woman, a human woman. She's got very, very short, cropped blonde hair, and she's wearing a very, very simple outfit. As she just kind of her hands are kind of together, she says, Can I help you?
Do you have goblins in your house?
What's
You're
your...
gonna slightly
No.
snicker and kind of turn.
No. Will that be all?
We need sanctuary.
Sanctuary.
We're...
And you've come to my house for this?
Yes. Following the laws of the religions of the land. Know that if asked, most monasteries will provide sanctuary for the night. And it's very dark, and we need a place to stay.
Turn a little bit further, stifling a snicker a little bit more.
She says, What is the goal in life?
What is the gold like?
Goal in life. Do me a favor, by the way. I gotta remember what the stat is. Yeah, okay. Kismet, just roll me an intelligence check, please. Or religion. Either intelligence or religion.
I have a -1 to religion
So this should go well.
and a -1 to intelligence.
Oh, well, this is gonna be fun.
What kind of warlock are you?
I don't understand why I have a -1, but I do.
Probably because you have a 9 in intelligence, I
Stats.
imagine.
What kind of warlock has a 9 in intelligence?
Because her
Well,
her casting stat is charisma.
Yeah.
Oh, then she should be
So
doing all
true.
the talking.
Ooh, I rolled a 1.
Jesus.
I worship Satan.
Just like Winnie the Pooh.
You desperately, Kismet, you desperately wish that you paid more attention to the teachings in the monastery.
Story of my life.
But so she says, "What is the goal in life?"
42.
The goal in life.
Always carry a towel.
The goal in life is to better our fellow man.
I'm sorry. This house of stones is only. Our doors are only open to those who follow the way of perfection.
Son of a bitch.
She kind of
Rude.
nods. She says, "I wish you a good night."
Wait, we have one more request. Can you teach us the way of perfection? We want to be better.
Yeah.
The master of masters is a pursuit of self-perfection that requires a lifetime of dedication.
Can we start tonight?
We want to start today. We want to start right now.
I'm sorry. I wish you a good night.
Can we just like push past her and be like, "Goblins, what's up?"
I don't.
You're welcome to try.
Yeah, Xantor, that's all you, man.
I did all my.
Like how you're the one that comes up with that idea, and then Pat, who are you, the sheriff?
I don't know why. Like, you guys have higher charisma, and I'm using just the bare base of my guesses for charisma to do this.
What do you have for charisma?
-1.
Oh.
Like, so, in fact, she should be doing all the talking and trying to, like, smooth talk her way in. I'm just grasping at straws. She's too busy eating cake. That's why.
Well, I did tell her.
Delicious cake.
So
Get us
so,
in the building.
so you got. I mean, she's kind of like she'll step back and just start like she's pushing the doors closed. These are big.
Before-
heavy windows.
There we
Before
go.
you close, it's not a request. It's information, if you have a moment. You were aware of the goblin attack that happened recently.
I've heard things, yes.
Some evidence we were capable of detecting this evening is that possibly a large group of them assembled just there in recent hours, days, something. We can't quite tell which, but we're trying to ascertain how they would have gotten into the city to this location, where they would have gone from here, and why would they have gathered here? What is the strategic benefit of starting here and spreading out? You may not have these answers. I will understand if that is one of the pieces of perfection you are working towards. But have you seen or heard anything unusual here specifically in the recent hours or days?
She kind of, before, like, she finishes closing the doors, she kind of pauses. Her eyes are still kind of closed. She says, "No, I have not heard any such thing. I do not often leave my monastery because, as I mentioned, the quest for self-perfection requires all of our drive, all of our focus. I am not familiar with the events you describe, nor have I any insight as to why or how, but I do hope that you find the answers that you're seeking and that the town is safer for it. Unfortunately, I can provide you no assistance here, for I know no such thing."
Then I will leave you to it. Good night.
So as she kind of closes the doors, Kismet, you kind of wish you spent a little bit more time sort of paying attention to, because when you were at the monastery, you focused a little bit on your magic and stuff, not so much on the religion of the monks that were there for, you were kind of there against your will. They were kind of there, for religious devotion purposes, but some of the terms that she threw around were definitely ones that you've probably heard before.
No.
Like the word "the" and the word
Yes.
"no." Yeah.
No, so you know that not all of them, but a good chunk of the monks that in the monastery that you lived in were followers of a deity called Irori, who is the master of masters, the god of self-perfection. You don't know much about him or his worship. You just sort of know the name.
Does he live in Beverly Hills?
No, but he is often worshipped by werewolves who pronounce his name Rory.
That's not true at all.
Oh, sorry.
You're just making that up.
Possibly.
That was
Let
brilliant.
me make a deception check. Yes, definitely making that up. Okay.
The cult of Corgi.
Oh, God.
Okay, I'm sleepy. And we've been walking around all day.
All right. So you guys wanna make your way to the tavern? Get some rest. All right. As you guys make your way over to the tavern, it is obviously getting late, but there is still sort of reveling and people kind of having a good time. It seems like they're kind of getting back into the swing of things after the festival and after the attacks. You assume most of them are probably drinking to sort of to stop thinking about danger and other things like that. So they're all. Where the hell is my tavern thing? They're all kind of getting involved in that. When you arrive in the Rusty Dragon, and let me grab you guys and drag you over there. You guys kind of take your seat. You rest for a little bit, and you can see Amiko is in her traditional way of kind of swinging around the tavern, serving people. There's a lot of patrons here. However, give me just 2 seconds to set this up. Don't do that. I can see it out of the corner of my eye. Don't do it. All right, there we go. So the tavern is kind of in full swing of things. There's actually a guy who's up on sort of this small stage reciting poetry, just kind of entertaining the patrons and stuff. And Ameko will eventually kind of swing by and say, "So how'd your day go?"
We wasted it.
Nothing new. No.
We figured out that I can't act, and there may be goblins hiding in the town.
And that the servants of Aurori are very unhelpful.
Kind of
She says-
bitchy, actually.
Oh, you visited Miss Sorn, did you? Sable. She's kind of not a very social person. Her father was a little bit more so.
Who was her father?
Enderaki was an old monk who came to town, set up the House of Blue Stones. I hear he has a fairly large archive of history and texts and things down in the basement, but only people she lets inside are followers of her religion. She's not really a people person.
That much was clear.
I think we need to go back tomorrow and break down the doors.
I'm sure that will go well.
I'd probably not do that. The place has been in town for quite a while. Also, I don't know if you know this, but behind those doors, she does a lot of exercising and martial arts training.
Ass kickery.
So as you guys are kind of, you guys are kind of just relaxing and reveling and stuff. Oh shit! I lost my page of notes. Give me 1 second. All right. So there's you guys are kind of hanging out and things are kind of swelling. You're enjoying the fire, you're enjoying your drink, and you're enjoying talking to Ameko. When all of a sudden the door to the tavern, the front door, just kind of flies open with a loud kind of slamming sound, and almost instantly, like it takes a second, but very quickly, all of the kind of echoing of voices and happiness and stuff in the tavern just kind of quiets down, and everyone seems to be turning their head and looking. And you guys, as you kind of turn and look, you see a familiar face. As there is an old man standing in the doorway, as Longiku is standing. He has just thrown open the door, and he is standing there with fury in his eyes.
Who was Longico?
Her father.
Oh.
Amiku's father.
Oh, okay.
And as he kind of he kind of slams open the door, he's just gonna kind of look around very quickly and say, "Where the hell is my daughter?"
Wow.
And like everyone has grown very, very quiet and suddenly very interested in their meal and their drink.
And with hands flat to the table, stand up and say, "Pardon me, sir. Do you own this establishment?"
He kind of, his eyes snap across the room. He says, "You again. I thought I told you I did not want to see you.
Then perhaps you shouldn't be here.
Perhaps you should not be in my town. Where is my daughter?"
Once again, we are going to reach this impasse where you do not apparently understand that respect is a two-way street. If perhaps you might want to step back out and enter the room like a civil and professional human being, maybe then we can talk. But until then, I have no interest in answering your question. Certainly not with any level of civility. Would you like to start again?
He kind of, his eyebrows furrow, and as he takes a couple steps in, like you're standing up at the far end of the tavern, he's just kind of walking to the table, and just coming out of the kitchen doors is a Mako who kind of like looks around with a very strange look. She says, "What is going on here?" And as his eyes shoot to her, and he starts stalking to, you see him like walking across the floor towards her, very, very angrily.
Daddy's home.
As he's kind of he starts shouting something in a language that you guys don't understand, though you actually might catch snippets of it, Kismet. He starts shouting something, and just as he's kind of reaching out to like grab her, like either by the collar or by the arm or something, that's where we're gonna end it for tonight.
Oh!
Probably for the best. I was about to hurl a battle axe at
Yeah.
him.
So, so that is, oh man, I should have, my music had just died, because all the musicians had stopped, so there wasn't any dramatic swell. Let me fix that, hold on.
Swole.
Yeah, any dramatic swole? There we go. So as we kind of, that's all we're going to get done for tonight. Obviously, what is going to happen next? What is Lonjiku's plan? Like, why is he here? What is he planning on doing with a Mako? What are the characters going to do? And what exactly is going on with these goblins that just seem to be all over this small town? All of that and more, we are going to find out, hopefully, next week when we return. So thank you so much, everyone, for hanging out with us. Thank you, everyone, for playing. Especially thank you to my players. A lot of tension and drama in this session. I wasn't expecting it to go there.
What?
No, trust me, I am digging it. I mean, I must say that is the first time I've ever seen someone really, really get into a head-to-head with Sheriff Hemlock.
What did you call him, Sheriff?
What? No, he just calls him what?
What do you call him?
Balin just calls him Hemlock. He refuses to call him Sheriff because he doesn't believe he earned that right, or at least from what he's seen thus far, he refuses to call. Which is why he also keeps saying constabulary instead of anything else. Just because Balin's like, I do not recognize your authority. One thing about Balin is you start out with a modicum of respect from him because you deserve some from the get-go because he doesn't know whether or not you deserve it. And if you lose it, it's going to get exponentially worse if you don't say, okay. Then as soon as you do that, he starts coming back up and he's willing to give you a second chance. If you don't do that and you just keep getting in his face about shit, he's going to be like, fuck you, and it's like, even if the sheriff kills him, it's like, fine, I'm dead, but I still don't respect you, you get nothing. Good day, sir. Sorry, still too soon. Sorry.
Oh, I just realized what you did.
Yeah. So
anyway.
No, Ed, trust me, I am like, you know what? I don't care if you hate the NPCs. In fact, I don't mind as long as it's the players engaged with it. Like, I'm fine. I'm happy. I'm good with it. So anyway, that I had a lot of fun. I hope you guys had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, there was a play. There was
the bit with the dogs, man. That was good, Adam. That was good shit.
Yeah.
Very good.
So there's all kinds of characters and stuff that's going to be going on. We're gonna kind of wrap this up, but before we do, I do have. Why don't we go ahead and go through our cast one more time? We'll have everyone let everyone know who you are, where they can find you. Then we'll hit up some announcements because I do have some important stuff to announce. So we'll start on this side with Trendane. Once again, tell everyone who you are and where they can find you on the internet and what you do. And what your cell phone number is, and your social security if you want to.
Mother's maiden name?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Bitch.
Whatever you use for your passwords.
Ouch. Sorry, Mom.
Yeah, nah. So My name's Trend Sparks, or Trendane Sparks. I'm a professional voice actor. Clearly, blah, blah.
Who apparently can't remember one voice.
Right.
Many. He has many. They all live in his brain.
They're all just looping around in there, and they're like, "I want some stage time now." So, I guess one of the most common places to find me right now is in a Star Citizen machinima called Bulkheads, which we just released episode 3 last week, and it is our bloodiest episode yet. Mainly because there's a giant firefight in it. But anyway, in that, with a lot of my fellow, I almost said constabularies, which is not the right word at all. I just got stuck in my brain. But yeah, you can follow me on Twitter at Trendane. YouTube is Trendane, and Facebook is Trend.Sparks. And Adam.
I think he's asleep.
Muted.
I was muted. I'm unmuting myself. Trying to fix.
Yeah.
I'm Adam, one half of a streaming show called Totally Tweaked, where we drink and we play games, and as we drink, we try to educate the viewers on the different drinks that we'll be drinking for the show. We were waiting for Chris to move and get like a better setup, and also since a lot of our test pilot streams had me just drinking and then forgetting to turn the stream off. So, tons of 18 and 32-hour streams. We are rebooting the show, and it'll actually focus on us playing Legion and the Division and some other things, and then also writing on the side, which Ashley enjoys. That's the sound that she's making because she enjoys it so much.
That's her happy sound. Yeah.
Yeah, so you can look for us on totallytweaked.com, twitch.totallytweaked, TWEEKD, not ED.
Y'all need to make that easier, yo.
No, ED is already taken.
It's easier. It's got one less letter than the way you would normally spell it.
Yeah.
It's got 3 E's in it.
So, yeah, and then Ash, go ahead.
Me! I'm Ashley from Two Dorks, where she's in hand grenades. It's Two Dorks TV on Twitch. I'm on there all the time.
You sound so excited about that.
Well, I feel like an asshole going,
Like, you said follow me, and, like, I don't show my boobs, so there's that. But, you know, I do stuff, and I don't swearsies.
I play games!
If nothing else, follow for the selfies before.
Yeah, I do selfie the shit out of myself. Holy crap.
I said this. I'm like,
Well, it's hard to selfie the shit out of anybody else.
I said to someone, I'm like, I wish I could be one of those people who like take a selfie. Hey, I'm starting my stream now. Like, this. Look at my face. No, you don't want that. So thank you, Joe. Go check those people out. The links are in chat. Go follow those awesome people. Hit them up. Say hi to them. Yell things at them. My name is Askren. I am the host and the dungeon master here. You can find me on Twitter at it's just twitter.com/Askren. That's the official Twitter for everything about Exploding Dice. So that's Dice Thulu will hit you up with a link. You can catch up for when we do our shows and stuff like that. Also, there's nothing you really need to know about me. I have a schedule that's during the week. You can go check it out, where I'm streaming here and on Encounter Roleplay. Some announcements.
You won't selfie.
No, I won't selfie. Some announcements. Normally, as Dice Thulu has been reminding you, I have a talk show on Tuesday called Fuzzy Dice. This week, I'm hanging out with Mr. Ivan Van Norman, one of the hosts from Geek and Sundry. Yes.
Nice.
The problem is, he is booked on Tuesday. He's doing a thing, so rather than just have the show real late on Tuesday, we moved it to Monday. So now this week's Fuzzy Dice is going to be on Monday, probably starting at 9. So go check out the Twitter for all the information on that. I'm going to be hanging out with Ivan. We're going to be talking about all kinds of cool stuff. And then I have not decided, but I definitely want to do something on Tuesdays. I just haven't decided what I'm going to do. It depends on who I can kind of rope together to maybe put on a show. Other than that, if you haven't already, hit that follow button. Keep up with everything we do here on Exploding Dice. Keep up with Trendane's dancing.
I'm just having a sympathetic sugar rush from all the cake.
And,
yeah, it's probably stupid to eat cakes like 4 in the morning.
And as always, guys, if you enjoyed the show, please consider either supporting it on Patreon, which Dice Zulu will give you the link to. Anything from $1 on up will help us make the show better, and also they give you monthly kind of things that you can use to interact with the game. You can also get those same things, both inspiration and things like that for the players by donating. All that stuff is in the details, so go check that out, and please consider supporting the show if you liked it. That's gonna be all for us. Hang out with me on Monday. Check my stuff out during the week. I'm starting Storm King's Thunder this week. This Wednesday, I'm starting Storm King's Thunder on Encounter Roleplay. I'm looking forward to it.
Nice. That should be fun.
Does Patreon take the teeth of defeated enemies? No, but if you go to your local currency exchange, you can trade those in. I think they're worth about $0.015 each. So, collect a bunch, and then you can sub to the channel for $1. And definitely come back here next week where we will be playing more D&D and continuing the Jade Regent campaign.
Hey, Sod.
What's up?
Sod is in the chat there.
Yeah,
he's our cleric in the other D&D.
Oh, what's up, man? Yes, Trendane does have multiple personality disorder. He's not.
I love cheating. Yeah. Well, yeah.
So we're gonna get out of here, but as always, don't let Dice Thulu get his tentacles on you, because sometimes when he does, you end up walking a bunch of large dogs around a town for hours and hours and hours.
And accomplishing jack shit.
And yes, and completing nothing. So thank you all for hanging out. We'll see you around. Take care, guys.
Bye.
Bye.